I hope you guys are doing lovely. I would like to say happy Monday. New start, new week, new mindset, new mentality, same goals, unity, man. It's Big Ghost Rider, man. It's Legal Wars Live, upstate New York. Man, y'all please forgive me. I was saying what's behind us is bluffs. Those are not bluffs. Those are actually mountains. I was told. I hadn't fact checked it yet. They said I was told by a gentleman those were the Appalachian Mountains. I want to shout him out too. You know what I'm saying? This the Finger Lakes here in upstate New York, man. It's day number, I think the computer's telling me 69. Been on tour, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take a second this morning. I'm going to do it just a tad bit different for everybody who's watching this after the content was pre-recorded. I'm going to take about 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to get out the way, and I'm going to let y'all observe the beauty of the Appalachian Mountains and the lake behind me, man, as that sun rises above that lake and that mountain. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take about 5 to 7 minutes, man, and I'm going to let everyone come in the stream. So if you guys are watching this after it was pre-recorded, you can fast forward to about 7 minutes or about to when you see me sit down. And that's where we're going to start the content. We talking about Russia and Ukraine. It's ultra important. So I pray you guys stay with me. My nature lovers, enjoy. Good morning. As you guys come in, good morning. It is a beautiful morning, man. We out here in Finger Lakes, up here in upstate New York, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the Appalachian Mountains behind me, man. It's a beautiful sight, man. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to let the people enjoy this. The sunrise, we gonna do it together. But the algorithm is telling me that it's time to get started. So we gonna get started because we got a really important story to talk about. Everyone in America, listen to me, guys. This is very important. It's critical. Everyone in America is focused on Charlie Kirk and freedom of speech as such, as should, man. Why shouldn't they be? This is America, man. It's our nation. It's what we care about. It's our that we love. It's the present issue. And then one of the leaders of the free speech, listen, whether you agree with what he's saying or not, I always give analogies to sports teams. So I know my gentleman's going to understand this. Let's say you're a San Francisco 49ers fan. You see what I'm saying? And the opposing team that you playing against is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and their quarterback is a clouded and goated Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, as a 49ers fan, you still recognize the opponent's greatness. So what I'm saying is, even if you were like, hey, Charlie Rose, Charlie Rose, I say Carla. Good morning, Carla. Charlie Kirk, his comments, you know what I'm saying? They were against women. They were against minority. They were against Jews. They were against LGBTQ. They were against etc. So you say it's divisive and hate. On We the People 6 that will air tomorrow, I still pay tribute to Charlie Kirk as a black man You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's important to do. I heard Representative Jasmine Crockett say yesterday that she says she don't want to honor his life because those words are offensive. That's her opinion. But what she said, we do have to protect life like Charlie, our opposition, because she said, what if someone came at me with a bullet? Which makes a lot of sense because they disagree with what she said. But what I'm saying, that's an issue of today in America. You see how we got off there? Old driver, J Prophet, good morning, good morning. Make sure you guys double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. See, that's the problem within our borders. But the biggest problem is without our borders. Fundamentally, it is Vladimir Putin. That's what we're talking about today on September the 22nd, day 69 of the We the People tour, live from the state of New York. That's state number 13 out here on the Finger Lakes, man, the Appalachian Mountains, man. I just jumped my big head out the way for you guys to see. It's gorgeous, man. That sunrise come up, man. All my nature lovers, man. Nature and politics, I'm trying to combine them together this morning, but we got some important stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into the top content. The only way we will win this war against Vladimir is to get tough. Where's everyone at down below? Y'all can get them comments jumping now. Who disagree with that? You know what I'm saying? I think President Trump has tried every diplomatic means possible. Listen, as a matter of fact, I think that every U.S. president alive since Vladimir has been president has tried every diplomatic means. President Clinton tried. You know what I'm saying? Then President Bush tried. President Clinton was on his way out the White House when Vladimir came in. He was president during the handoff of power. So when Vladimir came back, you know what I'm saying, President Bush, he observed that. And he said, I looked into Vladimir's soul. Y'all remember them famous quotes. You see how it turned out. Who came after President Bush? Anybody remember? Was it President Obama? You know what I'm saying? President Obama, he tried. Y'all know what happened. President Trump, he's done the same thing. Diplomatic means. If Putin making them look bad, I'm going to tell you why. That's because Putin is a Russian mobster. Point blank, period. Old KGB guy, he's a Russian mobster. So if I'm a mobster, I'm not a politician. Let me break that down for you. The Chinese premier or prime minister, excuse me, he is a politician. I can tell you that for a fact. It's just what you know. But Vladimir Putin actually is not just a politician. On TV, he a politician, but he really like a gangster. That's what, he really like the richest dude in the world. That's what I'm saying. America has been had intelligence on Putin like this. That's why some of us have a problem with this situation, and it's so serious because what we talking about is the safety of the world. Listen, you might end up having to fight Putin in the end. You will have to fight him one way or another. That Ronald Reagan didn't cower from it. He stood up to a Russia that was way more powerful. Look, he stood up to a Russia that Putin is trying to get right now. Putin's trying to bring that Russia back. That the Russia that Ronald Reagan stood up to had Ukraine in it already. Am I right or wrong? The Russia that President Trump, that Ronald Reagan stood up, it had all those. It was the USSR without a shot being fired, bro. We got to get tough on him to win this war. Guys, before we get started, I ask if you guys have not, that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys have hit that notification bell. Also, guys, in this stream, everyone is welcome. I just ask that you guys be respectful to others. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comments and let your voice be heard. Now let's just start the conversation. Guys, we're going to do it just a little bit different today. We're going to stay on the topic of the Russian-Ukrainian war, but I'm going to give you a topic from complete news stories and give you the analysis afterwards, okay? Because of this, we don't need no introduction. We gonna get straight into the content. All I'm saying is that the news stories probably will be a little bit shorter, and then we get into the analysis. Okay, that means that I could get down in the comments with you guys. So this news story was published September the 19th by Reuters from Istanbul. MI6 chief Richard Moore said on Friday that he sees no evidence, listen to me, that Russian President Vladimir Putin has any interest in any negotiated peace short of Ukrainian capitulation. Wow. So basically, if you guys don't know who MI6 is, that's British intelligence. He says he don't see no evidence that Vladimir wants peace. That's something we heard from Zelensky. But as we hear from other, basically world leaders, because he's going to advise the British Prime Minister, as we hear from other world leaders, it weighs in more heavy on the conflict that's going on. 4 years. President Trump promised to end the conflict quickly when he came into the White House. That has not happened, but I don't hate on him because he's been very busy, if you guys don't know, with a lot of other stuff. But back to the news. In a speech in Istanbul to announce plans to use the dark web to recruit informants and receive secret information from agents in Russia and worldwide, Moore also said Putin has bitten off more than he could chew and underestimate Ukrainians in the war. Man, this has to be very disturbing to me, to you guys, to President Trump, if you guys are looking for world peace and prosperity. But I think he has a better grip on this, speaking of President Trump, than we're willing to give him credit for. And you say, Ghost, why you say that? You guys get in the comments, man. Ask the questions, man. Ghost, why do you say that President Trump has a better grip than what you give him credit for? I say that because he understands the game. He has personally talked to both sides. He has information that me and you do not have. I think he's just taking his time. He's letting the situation play out. I'm saying, knowing Putin's resolve to win this war, we just heard it, gave you the news realistically. The only way that the United States, Ukraine, Europe, and the NATO allies can win, you have to stop Vladimir from changing the war order. How do you do that? What President Trump said, number one, stop buying Russian oil. Can I get a like on the video? Double tap your screen. Tell me if Ghost Rider ain't cooking this morning. Number one, stop buying Russian oil. That's funding his war. That don't make no sense to me. I don't understand the concept. Listen to me, guys. You got the Europeans who are speaking the loudest out of everybody to stop this war. Am I right or wrong? You see what I'm saying? I've generally taken their side, especially on tariffs and other things. But what I'm saying, they're America's allies. That's our brothers. That's where America come from. But what I'm saying is, and this is my point to the whole conversation is that by buying, Russia's biggest, their biggest, the way they get the most money from is from their oil. That's how they're funding the war, is from the oil. And the Europeans are buying Russian oil. They're funding the war. And then the politicians are on TV and they're crying about what's going on, and they're asking President Trump. And President Trump talked to ghostwriters, somebody with some common sense, and said, hey, the number one thing you got to do, we looked it up. Let's do it right now, y'all. Let's not talk about it. Let's give the president. Let's give CNN. Let's give Fox News. Let's give MSNBC. Let's give anybody who wants to know some truth and some information. That's what Gus Ryder do. Ameliorate legal, paralegal time. This what we're waking up, baby. We trying to see who are the biggest purchasers of Russian oil. Because if we really want to stop this war, what we got to do, y'all tell me if I'm wrong or I'm right, you got to cut that man money out. If he ain't got no money to pay his troops, if he can't buy no rockets, if he can't be buying mercenaries, if he can't be making deals with South Korea, paying their soldiers, trying everything he can, trying to get his drone production. I'm saying, man, I didn't research so much stuff about this war. The biggest way to stop him is that money, guys. What we looking for is who are the biggest purchasers of Russian oil. I am concerned with that. You know what I'm saying? The biggest purchasers of Russian oil. Guys, if you guys have not liked the video, I ask that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. But most importantly, Republicans, independents, Democrats alike, we've heard of powerful people who have lost their lives, man, with their opinions over this thing. But my thing, Miss Carol, is that my biggest thing is I just want America to win. And I think this is how America wins. Who is the biggest purchasers of Russian oil? Okay, so my source for this, guys, is The Independent. It was 1 month ago. U.S. is pushing China and India. What can we do with China and India to stop buying Russian oil from the Kremlin? 3 countries are the biggest buyers of Russian oil, are China, India, and Turkey. China, India, and Turkey. We got to get Mr. Elgeron. Listen to this, y'all. China's the #1 overall purchaser of Russian oil, with some $219 billion worth of Russian oil. Turkey, $133 billion with a B. I mean, Turkey, $90 billion, India, $133 billion. Listen, Hungary imports some Russian oil through a pipeline. It's an EU member. And that's why Viktor Orban was critical of sanctions against Russia. He's an EU member. He's in Europe. You got to stop buying Russian oil. Listen, this is my thing, y'all. President Trump can use sanctions, right? Do y'all agree? You cannot disagree. Every American president ended up using sanctions against Russia. That's how they end up fighting. So President Trump hasn't been quick to do it. But I'm saying, if President Trump could use a tariff to help cripple him, if President Trump could use a tariff, good morning, Brad. Good morning, Brad. I got one of my channel members in the stream. Y'all make sure y'all like the video, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If President Trump could use a tariff to levy the same kind of weapon against that nation that a sanction will, in my opinion, every tool that's at his disposal. Because we have to get these nations. Listen, I think diplomatically, this should be your diplomatic terms. These should be your meetings at the White House, President Trump. I've been calling for India to go to the White House for a long time. India is one of the biggest countries in the world to the stability of the world, in my opinion. If India goes the way of Russia and the way of China, you got to understand what they have built. China has about 1.4 billion people or so, and so does India and Russia. I'm saying, you talking about like that's a third of the world's population in one army or one united front. India geopolitically is a very strategic and important ally. I would try to get a trade deal with India immediately. If we can't get no trade deal, just get that. Let him get an American prime minister, American state visit. Roll out the red carpet for the Indian prime minister, the Indian leader. They are geopolitically And then for the rest of it, President Trump just got to get strict on these EU nations that's buying Russian oil. He got to give them an ultimatum because the sanctions really don't work if you supplying Russia. He got to try to make a deal with China, man. I think the way you win this war is definitely through the finances, and you do that through that hustle, that backdoor channels, man. You got to get down into it. It's not going to be easy, man. But the number one thing is to stop buying Russian oil. That's funding the war. Number two, put the strictest sanctions on a country the world has ever seen. You need to break up that relationship with China and India. America knows how to do these kind of things. Black ops. Other strategic geopolitical foes and allies by using the power of the economic tools that the United States has to deter nations from helping Putin to fight this war. The atrocities on every level. I have every reason to say that we need to stop this war ASAP. I'm sorry, guys, if I come across wrong, if I seem like I got too much passion, if I'm yelling and I'm screaming, because I'm saying it's important. It's like the world on Asia. It's like that part of the world is on fire. Someone needs to be yelling and screaming. Just imagine if you had a big house outside on this lake, right? And say your house part is out there on the lake. But this part, you got like a little barn part right here, and this little part right here, this little pavilion. Say this little pavilion on fire, but you and your wife on the part on the house on the lake. But that part's on fire and it's spreading. And I'm on a boat riding by and I see it, and I come up to your house on the lake. I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm saying, hey, your house is on fire. Guys, do we have compassion, humanity? Listen. For the leaders who are looking for America or the world to get on one page, how we do that, we have to celebrate humanity. I will preach that continuously, guys. Celebrate humanity, because that's something we all have in common, because we all have differences. But what we all have in common is our humanity. And what the situation is in Russia, and excuse me, guys, it's so important, though. The situation in Russia and Ukraine is that so many people are dying, and they're primarily younger people. It's like they're killing their future, bruh. Real talk. We need to have a campaign, President Trump. Pull out Mar-a-Lago, White House, get these, lobby all the nations in the world to stand together against the aggression of Russia. You have to break up Putin's resolve to win this war. This is the only way you can win it. The diplomacy angle is not going to work. That's factual. You cannot let him have all of Ukraine. That is factual. He has to be stopped. And this is the only way you can stop him. So I ask, if you guys have not, that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, everyone in the stream is welcome. So I ask that you guys just be respectful to others. Excuse me. Republicans, independents, and Democrats, jump down in the comments and let you guys' voice be heard. Also, guys, we got to pay the bill. So what I got to say is I don't have any sponsors yet, or I'm not taking money from no political party or no one else, just from you guys. So super chats, super stickers, super thanks, they start at 99 cents. If you want to donate to the channel, you want to have your comment read, please hit the button with the $sign in it, and your donations are truly appreciated, my friends. What you guys think? Dan says the China comment shows that you're not Chinese. Key 6 says, imagine how overpopulated we would be if it wasn't for World War II. Just saying, man, I think that is what I hear a lot of people say. I don't know if it's conspiracy theories. I don't know if it's true, but what I got to say to me is that's very disgusting. See, to me, it's like the world and mankind try to do stuff like that when they're trying to manipulate and control it. Let it be natural. Let God control it. We weren't controlling it when we came, and we're not going to control it when we get out of here. The stuff that we can't control, we can't control it. But I say that other stuff, man, we just go too far with that. That's my take on that. Let's see. Brad says, I think the elite countries are about to turn on us, not in war, but economically. That comment right there, in my opinion, guys, what y'all think? Y'all could respond to Brad. Brad says he thinks the elite countries, so you talking about the EU, Brad, like Russia and Europe and those nations are going to turn on us. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, but I can say some countries are pulling away or looking to pull away or have pulled away from us. And that is very, very unfortunate. Guys, I'm going to get out the way for just a second. That's why I went on early. So you guys could see that sunrise out here on the Appalachian Mountains in upstate New York on the Finger Lakes. It's so beautiful, man. It's so gorgeous. Make sure you guys, if y'all have not liked the video, y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you could come live every time we go live. Man, I do that, man. Let y'all see how gorgeous it is out here, man. I appreciate y'all participating. I ask that y'all please, I know it might not be important to you, but to me it's so important for the world that we avoid World War III like President Reagan did. So y'all please, if y'all can, until we finish the content, if y'all can, comment as much as y'all can so I could read your comments and get your opinions. Republicans, independents, or Democrats alike, the voice of the American people together. You know what I'm saying? We could speak the truth about this world crisis, because that's what it is. So my next source for the next story is Business Insider. It was published on September the 18th, if you guys want to check it out. Ukrainian intelligence officers told Congress on Wednesday that Russia has recruited at least 20,000 Cuban citizens to fight as mercenaries. What? So, bro, Russia is over in our backyard. Do you know how close Cuba is to Miami? What? Are they going to be trying to hop the boat to Miami next to recruit Americans to fight as mercenaries against Ukraine? What? Andrei Yusov, a representative for Ukraine's Military Intelligence Agency, or HUR, told U.S. House Representatives in a national security briefing that Cuba is ranked at the very top among countries from which Russia sources its mercenaries. Currently, our good intelligence tell us about at least 20,000 people from Cuba that have already filled the documents and have been recruited to fight for Russia, he said, per one of his colleagues who translated his presentation for the congressional panel. His assessments underscores the challenges that both Russia and Ukraine face in keeping their frontline staff as the war drags into its fourth years. There is a human cost. Please, I don't want to scream. I don't want to yell. I don't want to offend anyone, but humanity. Do you care about humanity? It's a dumpster fire in Ukraine. It's on fire. Your house, sir, is on fire. Moscow has increasingly turned to foreign troops from areas such as North Korea, the Middle East, and Africa as it launches frequent but costly ground assaults. Costly. The human cost and the financial cost. How do you beat Vladimir? You stop buying Russian oil. Yusuf said that Ukraine has confirmed the identities of at least 1,038 Cuban mercenaries who signed contracts between June 23 and February 24. Listen to me, 2023 and 2024. Listen to me. That's nice work by the Ukrainian intelligence. They have the identities of the Cubans, 1,038. He did not detail how HUR, Ukrainian intelligence, obtained this information, though Ukrainian officials later at the briefing implied that many of these fighters were killed or captured. The average age of the Cuban fighters, not the Russian or the Ukrainian fighters, is 35, and their average monthly wage is $2,000, which is a whole lot of money in Cuba. This is the age where people should be building families and working hard, but unfortunately, they choose to go for war, he told the panel. And we're not talking about a few hundred people, man. We talking about thousands are dying at one man's request. This is Vladimir's Putin war, or his dream, or his complaint, or whatever he's having. And it's at the cost of millions. We getting to 2 million. We're all way up. Been over 1 million people died over there. Listen to me. You talking about fighting a world war? Are we talking about fighting a world war this morning? I'm a numbers guy. I don't know this information that I'm finna say, but I'm telling you, this is how ghostwriter get down. Numbers. Men lie. Women lie. But numbers, though, they can't be deceptive. But what I'm looking for is how many people died. How many people died? Y'all know where I'm going with this? In World War II. Let's see. How many people died in World War II? 70 to 85 million. So I do apologize. Because, I mean, that's catastrophe numbers. So maybe Putin comparing all the millions. Because in my opinion, bro, I'm talking about, if you talking about 200 Americans died, like, we gonna be acting a fool. I'm talking about this dude act like their lives don't mean nothing. You talking about millions. But the way we don't get to another 75, 85 million people dying in the age of where we have weapons to press just a button, you got all that many million people dying, because 1 million in today's age seem like 2 million. When you got the weapons America have, maybe Russia don't have them weapons. But I'm saying, man, that's way too many people. The spokesperson said that Ukraine also had records showing that at least 250 Cuban fighters had remained on the front lines even after their contracts expired. They done got radicalized. Youssef said HUR's information on the mercenaries' servability isn't complete, but added that the current data shows the typical contracted foreigner who is killed while fighting for Russia meets their death within 140 to 150 days. 5 months. Shelf life. If you choose to go fight that war, the typical ones that's dying, you got a 5-month shelf life. It's so sad, man. I'm saying, which one of us in this stream say that there's a real logical value to that war? If Putin had an argument that there's a logical value, I'm saying it's been 4 years. Is the argument, are we still gonna go on? Like, how long? If you ask me, my personal opinion, if I think Ukraine should make concessions, I say yeah. Should they give up Crimea to end the war? I say yeah. That goes against a lot of people in Europe saying, that's a lot of people in the Democrats saying, Ukraine saying, President Trump and them. I think they agree with my vision. My goal, you got to focus on the goal is to stop the war. We trying to stop this war. We trying to stop this killing. We've been doing this for too long. Y'all listen to me. This is a forever war. Putin is showing that his resolve is getting stronger. It's not diminishing. It's going to the point where he's even challenging NATO countries. He's getting more aggressive. He's showing what I look like to me is old USSR days where he's building alliances with nations, a new axis of evil over this strip of land. So I'm saying, I know how you feel, President Zelensky, but if we could somehow get them in the same room, that should be number one. Get them in the same room, President Trump. They hate each other. They can't stand each other, but we got to stop it. It's a complicated, situation, but we got to stop this war. We got to stop this war, y'all. We got to stop this war. It is beneficial for Putin's regime to attract Cuban mercenaries, Yusuf said. So if a foreigner dies, there is no social payouts and no responsibility. Hey, I got an extra 18,000 people fighting out there, but if they die, ain't no Russian families getting hurt. They from Cuba. That's halfway across the world. Why I care? It's a human life. Because I don't care about humanity. I don't care about the dignity of life. I don't care about human rights. That's something to be passionate about, man. Within this conversation holds the problems that we are having in our world. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has enacted several new laws since 2022 that codify payouts for wounded soldiers and families of those killed in the war. While the Kremlin doesn't officially publish data on these expenses, independent analysis that say they're likely placing a significant strain, you don't say, on Russia's economy. How long can it stay up, y'all? It's gonna collapse. We need it to collapse. We got to do whatever we got to do to bring this war to an end. Marlon Zablosky, a Ukrainian parliament member attending the panel, also displayed several documents that he said shed insight into how Cuban mercenaries are being treated, including a list of fighters' names, ages, and the date of their death and when they signed their contracts. Another document showed a plea from a Cuban woman to a Russian ombudsman for the location of her husband, contacts or contracts for Cuban women, and Russian judiciary records of a local recruiter who testified that she helped to hire 6,000 to 7,000 Cuban people. You can even see just from one confirmed recruiter how many in thousands they're promising to Russia in terms of mercenaries. What I'm saying to y'all is that costs a lot of money. So my thing is, y'all, how can Vladimir afford to pay for that? How can he continue afford to pay for this, man? His economy is being crippled. His equipment is being destroyed. His military is being dismantled. How can he afford to keep paying for it? Guys, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell, guys. Also, super chat, super thanks, super stickers, man. They start at 99 cents. So if you guys want to say something, you want your comment read, comment highlighted, just hit the button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated, guys. I'm about to fall back out the way out here in upstate New York, the Appalachian Mountains, man. It's a beautiful day, man. A beautiful day that God has made, man. We will rejoice and be glad in it, man. Appalachian Mountains, Lakeside, man, day 69 on the tour. We talking about some very important business this morning, man, the business of America. We got to end this conflict as soon as we can with Russia, so President Trump can get on with the rest of his plan for the world. He's got two conflicts that he promised the American people, the Israeli people, the Palestinian people, The Russian people and the Ukrainian people, he got two conflicts he promised the EU that he was going to end quickly. We got to get these wars ended, man. We got to end them. If you're a nature lover, man, and you just come out here, man, and you tilt that camera down, man, you tilt that camera down, and you see that sun coming off that water and them pink skies, it's beautiful out here, man. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, we're going to get back to the news story, okay? The briefing on Wednesday, held by Republican representatives for Southern Florida, aimed to pressure the international community to impose punitive measures on the Cuban government for its ties to the Kremlin. Everybody who supports him, you have to go after them, stranglehold. And you got to form a committee, man. You got to organize. You can't just be freestyling up here now. We got to organize. You got to get you a committee. I'm saying, what you got going on within the CIA, man? These organizations, man. You got to communicate with these organizations. You got to lead and organize, man. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody who got a lot of foreign, you know what I'm saying, experience with foreign governments that you trust to who has a good relationship with the intelligence communities to do this, man. U.S. representatives and Ukrainian officials accuse Cuba's government at least implicitly supporting Russia's war efforts due to the number of Cuban citizens joining Moscow's ranks. Cuba's foreign ministry said in 2023 that it had launched proceedings against the group that it accused of trafficking its citizens to recruit them for the war. But, sir, that was 2023. This is 2025. Can't run no game on us. However, researchers who study the country closely told Business Insider that year that it's unlikely a large mercenary ring could have operated in Cuba without the government's knowledge. So what they're saying is the government was aware. The Cuban and Russian foreign ministries did not respond to requests for comment sent outside of regular business hours. So, guys, once again, if you guys have liked the video, I ask y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, guys. We're going to get down here in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? If you guys got something good to talk about, man, according to the issues, we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? What we got to talk about this morning, y'all? So someone says, name a time in history when there was a successful invasion of Russia. That was the greatest question out of all that nonsense. I'm glad I found it. Great question, sir. That baseline, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you asked the question. There has not been a time in history where there was a successful invasion of Russia. It's very difficult to successfully invade Iran. When has there been a successful time there was an invasion of America? And you can't ask the Indians that, but I'm saying since the current Americans have taken control, the current government in power, that's what I'm saying. There's several nations you can say that to. So I'm saying that, no, you are not going to successfully invade Russia or Putin. No, that's not going to happen. But Russia has nukes. So that's the reason why Russia gets the respect to where you use diplomacy and you just don't bomb the snot out of them like you do with Argentina. Y'all see how that was a very good question that he asked. So no, you don't attempt to invade Russia. You do use diplomatic means, but also you use sanctions. As I said before, guys, I'll say this 1,000 times. I'll tell you this 10,000 times. I'm just gonna have to give you guys a straight news story so you guys will understand this, because most of you guys know this. But I'm gonna say, listen, the fall of the USSR, okay? This is a similar problem. America has not had this problem before. Okay? Let me get the story for you. So we're going to go to history.com, and we're talking the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Cold War. I'm not going to sit here and analyze. I'm going to just to you. On December 25th, 1991, the Soviet flag flew over the Kremlin and Moscow for the last time. Representatives from Soviet Republicans, and these are all the nations that are in the Soviet Republic, used to be formerly Ukraine, Georgia, Belarus, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Moldavia, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and already announced that they would no longer be part of the Soviet Union. If you guys do not think all those nations are important, why would Vladimir Putin be trying to reunite them? Instead, they declared that they would establish a commonwealth of independent states because the three Baltic republics, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, had already declared their independence from the USSR. Only one of its 15 republics remained. What I'm telling you, man, that's over 15 other nations that are independent countries today that were a part of Russia. And it was the Soviet Union, for the guys, people who do not understand that. I think a lot of younger people do not understand that. They do not understand the power of the mighty Soviet Empire and how close the world was to World War III. This isn't the first time the world has been close to World War III. The world has been close to World War III many times before this one. I'm talking about inches close. We've had problems with Cuba before. In Cuba, the Soviet Empire had missiles aimed at America. These aren't new issues. These aren't new problems. The once mighty Soviet Union have fallen largely due to the great number of radical reforms that Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev had implemented during his 6th year as the leader of the USSR. However, Gorbachev was disappointed in the dissolution of his nation and resigned from his job on December 25th. It was a peaceful end to a long, terrifying, and sometimes bloody epoch in world history. If you guys do not know, the Russian Revolution of 1917 is when it was formed, and that was the Soviet Union, man. So I'm saying America has had to deal with this before. In 1988, Time magazine selected Mikhail Gorbachev to be its Man of the Year for his work toward ending the Cold War. The Cold War. There was no bullets fired. There was bullets fired not directly between America and the Soviet Union. The next year is named him as Man of the Decade. In 1990, Mikhail Gorbachev won the Nobel Peace Prize. The Soviet Union was supposed to be a society of true democracy, but in many ways it was no less repressive than the Tsar's autocracy that preceded it. It was ruled by a single party, the Communist Party, that demanded allegiance of every Russian citizen. After 1924, when the dictator Joseph Stalin came to power, the state exercised totalitarian control over the economy, administering all industrial activity, and establishing collective forms. Listen, guys, in America today, there's people who believe in, how many of you people, guys, know who believe in a socialist society? There's Democrats and there's other Americans in 2025 where socialism is more popular than you think it is. But what I'm saying is not that kind of socialism, not under those kind of leaders who allow journalists to be killed, who kidnap their own citizens. And I'm not an American intelligence agent, so I'll let them tell you about Vladimir at the appropriate time. But I'm saying him, nah, not him. Russian losses, guys. The source is UKRIN, Ukraine Forum, September 19. UKRINFORM, if you guys want to fact check me. The total combat losses of Russian troops since the start of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine from February 24th, 2022 to September 19th, 2025, these are very fresh numbers, amount to approximately 1,099,530 people, including 1,100 over the past day. Over 1 million people, bruh. In 3 years, just Russians, 1 million souls dead. What you fighting for? Mr. Vladimir Putin, what you fighting for? Oh, we got to control a little strip of land, man. We got to control some land. Just my power, my ego, and just because I can. I'm going to pay millions of dollars to Cuban mercenaries and I know him when I'm paying him. When I'm paying these human beings, you got to focus on the human quality. When I'm going over there paying these humans, I'm bringing them over here like they did. They brought Russian Jews to the slaughter. I know I'm bringing them mercenaries over here to die. I'm going to North Korea, and getting them troops to come to die, bruh. He's a war criminal for a piece of land. You say that's just a perspective. That's not a perspective, bro. Those are facts. You gotta know the history. Like arguing with all these new young people who got a perspective saying that Russia is not evil or they're not an empire or they're not whatever you talking about. Ain't nothing changed. It's the same Putin. It's the same old mentality, KGB, USSR, ain't nothing changed. Those numbers were stated by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine as reported by the source I gave you. You confirm. The Russian army, this is what they also lost, 11,191 tanks. Golly, how many did they have to start, Ghost? It don't matter. 11,000 tanks, that's a lot of money. How much money they paid on each one of them tanks? 23,278 armored combat vehicles, 32,896 artillery systems, 1,492 multiple launch rocket systems, 1,218 air defense systems, aircraft, 422 helicopters, 341 tactical level UAVs, 60,680 cruise missiles, 3,718 ships and boats, and 28 submarines. One tank, vehicles and tankers, 62,044 special equipment. Come on, man. Think about that, bruh. I'm talking about, bruh, in 3 years, you done paid a heavy price. Over 1 million of your troops, 1 million of your people, and they constantly dying. Over 1,000 a day. Don't even care, man. The man, he don't even care, bruh. I'm talking about, this is a war you're supposed to win in 48 hours. You got to have the mentality to resolve. We're just looking at his resolve now, okay? When I'm starting this war, I'm telling my people, the whole world expecting it, President Biden saying it, the intelligence community predicting it, 48 hours, and he was this close to taking Kyiv, this close to killing Zelensky. He was this close, but it didn't happen. And so you going on 4 years later, and I've just read to y'all statistical facts. These ain't no Republican slants. These ain't no Democratic slants. This is just facts and truth. Statistical facts of the cost that this man has paid, and his resolve hasn't got less, it's got greater. How can you defeat it? How can you beat that? By saying, hey, man, can we get you to stop bombing Ukraine? He gonna say, ha, 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 send the more rockets tonight. We gonna hit them with the more rockets than we ever hit them before. Hey, man, all of that none of that's working, man. Ain't none of that's gonna work. I'm saying if you keep tap dancing with somebody and you don't crush them, well, you the strongest, most powerful nation in the earth. You just demonstrated it in Iran. You got weapons that they ain't got. Ain't nobody in the world got these kind of weapons, bro. You the strongest. You the richest, you the most powerful. The world is watching. China is watching, and this dude is thumbing his nose in your face, and you looking weak. He a Russian mobster, and he looking at these American politicians like they weak. Imagine if you go to the south side of Chicago and you make him the president of Russia. So you got King Von or Lil Durk, and they doing business with President Trump. The only difference between a gangster, a regular gangster, a John Gotti, if you don't know them rappers, we talking Tupac, John Gotti, whatever kind of guy who got that gangster mentality, the only difference between them and Vladimir is Vladimir put on a suit every day. And he got like a little pimp walk, you know? You know, they open up the big doors, Vladimir Putin, and here come him with the little pimp walk. But he just a gangster, man. That's what I'm saying. And so that's why he never respects him. I'm breaking it down to you in the psyche, common sense. He never respects an American president because he looks at him how a gangster would an American politician. Like they're just an old politician or a young politician. You look at Obama, he a politician. This dude's a gangster. He's a murderer. He's a killer. He's a, he gangbanging. You think it's funny? What you think Saddam Hussein was? What you think that Muammar Gaddafi was? You want me to tell you guys what Muammar Gaddafi was? Well, his son. Listen, let me tell you a story. Muammar Gaddafi's son was invited to come to a wedding. Listen to me. Human factor. This is a true story. I'll look it up right now for you. But I know it. Ghosts know it. How evil and wicked these people are. The enemy is not inside our borders, it's outside. Muammar Gaddafi's son was invited to come to a wedding. Okay. You got the dictator's son at the wedding. The dictator's son is at the wedding, guys, right? Okay, so the bride come out. You know, in Muslim customs, the bride is a virgin. She got on all white, she undefiled. The man that she with, he ain't even supposed to have done nothing with her yet. She got on all white, she undefiled. So, Muammar Gaddafi's son, the prince, he's sitting his evil butt there, and he looks up and he sees the bride. This man's bride, they finna get married, and he invited to this wedding because he's a dignitary. You know what he do? He tell the man to go, he tell his guards to go get the man's bride. And he defiles her, man. He rapes her. You know what she did after that? She jumped off and killed herself, bro. She committed suicide. That's how evil these people are, bro. They wicked. You know what I'm saying? They heartless. They cruel. And that's what you're dealing with. That's what you up against. And they looking at you like you just a little weak American politician. They fear them Navy SEALs. They fear them Tomahawk. You feel me? Them Black Abrams tanks. They fear all this stuff. But I'm saying if you got somebody in control that he thinking he just stringing you along, he looking at you like he just an old man in a suit. He got some power, but you know, he got constraints on his power. I don't. I'm a gangster. I'm a mobster. I'm Tupac. Imagine Tupac president not putting down on Tupac, because I'm saying Tupac is coming across as what he was. He real. But I'm saying Vladimir ain't coming across as no gangster. He presenting himself as a politician, but he's simply a gangster. Trying to make you guys understand what I'm saying, you know? Guys, if you have not liked the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys hit the notification bell for me. You know what I'm saying? Super chat, super stickers, super thanks. They start at 99 cents. So, guys, you can hit that button with that $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated, guys. Appreciated. We need some donations, y'all. Delivering the content to you guys. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, guys, so we got another news story. I'm looking down in the comments, man. I would get in the comments, but I see we up in here with this goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we in this goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep on with the news story. So this story is provided by Euro News on September the 18th. The Ukrainians are paying as well. We're talking about the price of the war with Ukraine and Russia, guys. Ukraine received the bodies of what Russia said were 1,000 fallen soldiers on Thursday, a government official says, in a rare moment of cooperation between the two countries as peace talks remain stalled. Ukrainians' coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war, POW, said officials will now carry out all the necessary examinations to identify the repatriated bodies, adding identification would take place as soon as possible. It looks like they're trying to work together. It comes after Ukraine and Russia had several rounds of prisoner exchange. Okay, that's positive news. The most recent in August saw both countries transfer 146 POWs each. The prisoner swaps and deals to return fallen soldiers are two other fresh, changeable results of 3 rounds of Istanbul talks between Russia and Ukraine held from May and July. I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to stand up because in my opinion, that is so important. Those prisoner swaps, President Trump, that's something you could stand on or start with, or a foundation of some kind of agreement or coordination or cooperation. President Trump gave an ultimatum to Vladimir and to Zelensky, and he told them they need to grow up and be adults and come together and talk with each other and meet with each other. Does anybody know if that happening yet? I haven't heard of that happening because it has not happened. So the only way these two men who absolutely hate and despise each other can come together to meet is with President Trump being there for a mediation. So guys, y'all should expect in the recent future, like I'm talking about President Trump, he could do it in America, he could do it, I don't know, you know how he likes pageantry, but you talking about he putting Zelensky and Putin down at the same table at the same time, and if President Trump is there in the middle, President Trump, I'm saying, I know, y'all forgive Ghostwriter. I'm saying, President Trump, I know you're supposed to be focused on the humanity, but I'm a politics dude. And I'm saying that picture right there, that's going to boost your approval rate. And that's President Trump. I'm talking about throughout the whole world. Y'all think about when this happened. This ain't no conspiracy theory. This is coming. Y'all know how Ghostwriter get down. I'm predicting and forecasting. You got to know the difference. They sound alike, but they're not the same. So President Trump is going to sit down with Vladimir and with Zelensky. We don't know how long it's going to take, but that's what I'm saying. If you go ahead and stomp on Russia, you could get the meeting quicker. Maybe you could get the meeting without stomping on Russia. But I'm saying eventually you're going to have to face them down. So the way I would handle it, you see what I'm saying, is I would go ahead and set up the meeting between them two. You know the first meeting, they're not going to agree. You know the first meeting, you're not going to get a peace deal. You know you might have to do this 3 or 4 times, depending on the situation and how it works. Depending on when you get them together, what happens. Because I'm saying, I'm sure you're going to have to bust down or break down on both sides or on one side. You got the sanctions. Maybe that's why he holding the sanctions. Maybe that's why he doing the negotiations. All I'm saying is the prisoner swaps is where I would start with as something that I know they both can agree with and they could come together with. And President Trump, it's about time for you to get on the phone and call that meeting with. And say, hey, Russia, and hey, Zelensky, and I don't know where y'all gonna meet him, President Trump, the security, the military, I don't know all of that. But wherever y'all gonna meet, I'm saying it's gonna be epic. The whole world watching. And it's not about that, it's about achieving world peace. It's about the people to stop getting killed. You know what I'm saying? And President Trump, you'll have your pageantry moment like you just went over in England had, like you had in Saudi Arabia. They'll roll down the red carpet for you. We just got to get the work done. We got to get it done. So we need Putin. This is what Ghostwriter is saying. Legal Wars Live, y'all. This is presidential advice, and this is free from one of the best litigators known to mankind in America. President Trump, we need to get Putin and Zelensky at the table ASAP. I think that'll be the best way to slow the killing down. Putin is looking at Zelensky. I ain't in it. So Ukraine, I'm not some other guys or Russia. I'm just giving y'all my opinion personally to direct it at the Trump's families. Shout out Don Trump. Shout out the little junior. I forget your name, my little boy. You feel me? And Big President T. How you deal with this big controversy? Because it's going to leave a stain on his name and his legacy. He got to get this done. We need to get Putin and Zelensky at a table ASAP. And you keep them tools in the bag, like the sanctions. He might have to slap Zelensky or two or something to get Zelensky to give up a concession. The Europeans to give up a concession, man. Putin might just end up. Listen, Crimea does not belong to Russia. I don't believe that. But I'm saying I believe that Russia violated the world order, and I'm saying we got to end this war. That's what I believe. I'm not the president. President Trump's going to have to make that decision on the best choice that he decides to take for America. You feel what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, from my opinion and my standpoint, the closest way and the quickest way we could start getting towards peace is by getting Zelensky and Putin at the same table at the same time ASAP. The negotiations, which aim to reach a temporary and ceasefire, has stalled though, okay? The latest effort to make dibs was carried out as part of a joint effort by the armed forces, Ukrainian security services, the Interior Ministry, and with the support of the Red Cross, the Ukrainian Coordination Center said. Ukraine has previously said that Russia has handed over bodies of its own soldiers, claiming they were Ukrainian. What? So the Ukrainians, maybe that was a mistake. You know, we ain't there. We don't know what's going on. But, you know what I'm saying? The Ukrainians are accusing the Russians of handing over Russian soldiers, the bodies of Russian soldiers, saying that they were Ukrainian. But maybe that's a mistake. Domestic media, citing officials, reported in June that 3 soldiers handed back to Ukraine as a part of the exchange for fallen soldiers were in fact Russian, as part of an attempt by Moscow to obscure the true scale of its losses on the battlefield. So, guys, that's just infighting, you know. They saying that more people died than not, you know what I'm saying? That I'm saying, like, I don't get lost on the statistics. I'm just saying I'm a legal person. I know how a law goes, you know, when you write and you get all these fancy and stuff. I like getting to the meat of it, to the bone, to what it matters, to the point. You know, we could get caught in these fancy numbers and you lose the case. I want to get to what's going on in this case, what's going on in this war. Get to the bottom of it. Let's solve this. Despite Thursday's rare instance of cooperation, talks between Russia and Ukraine remain gridlocked, with President Trump's ultimatums and deadlines for the Kremlin to agree to peace passing without consequence. This is where you guys let y'all voices be heard. That's what's going on. President Trump gave them ultimatums. The time came and passed, and ain't nothing happened. I'm not judging President Trump. You guys could judge him. Y'all are more political about that stuff than I am. What I'm trying to say is, in my opinion, my advice, the purpose of this live stream, that you getting advice from a very whatever, if you know, you know, is that it's time for President Trump, as soon as possible, to get Vladimir and Zelensky together at the same table for the first time. If I have to make a prediction, if he plays it right, the cards right, within 3 or 4 meetings, he could do 1 meeting a month. Within 3 or 4 meetings, I think he could get a complete peace deal. Within the second or the third meeting, I think he could get a ceasefire. And I think within 3 or 4 meetings, by the fourth meeting, if he plays it right, he should get a peace deal. He should have sanctions. He should be ready to slap Ukraine after each meeting. First meeting, he should have a game plan. Second meeting, a game plan. Third meeting, a game plan. Fourth meeting, you should have a deal. End of war. See how that's not a conspiracy theory. I'm not giving you a conspiracy. I'm making a prediction and a projection, and that's actually more akin to the advice that you would get from a top-rated attorney if you get advice. Guys, I asked if y'all have not liked the video, that y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, in this stream, everyone is welcome. I just ask that you guys be respectful to others. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. Y'all, let's talk about it. Let's start the conversation. One last thing, we got to pay the bills. I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not taking no money from no party or no one else, just from you guys. So super chats, super stickers, super thanks, they start at 99 cents. If you want to donate or start a conversation, have your comment read, please hit that button with that $ in it. And your donations are truly appreciated. 1 hour and 11 minutes. The Appalachian Mountains, Finger Lakes, upstate New York is gorgeous out here, guys. Guys, I gave you stats, facts, number, the story, advice. Putin has paid an incredible price. Without total victory, his reputation as a superpower on the world stage will be ruined forever. That's why it's so important. Speak the Truth says they are already trying to set up one world government. Speak the Truth, what do you mean by that? Who's trying to set up one world government? If you are saying that we need to stop corruption in the world, who's going to argue with that? Yeah, what, the New Testament? Okay, like, I understand, but I'm saying, like, listen to what I'm saying, Speak the Truth. If you're saying we need to stop corruption in the world, who's going to argue with that? If you say we need to stop crime in the world, who's going to argue with that? If you say that you need to take the mark or 666 in your forehead, nah, I'm not doing that. If you say that the world needs to be more understanding of each other's religions, who's going to argue with that? If you said that the world needs to be more unified, who's going to argue with that? That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's like whatever someone's teaching and preaching is what we should really focus on. Because I'm saying, who doesn't want to stop crime? We want to get on the same page in the world. You got to listen to which each individual leader is saying. You could discern his words. I wouldn't delve into conspiracy theories, though. Listen to what the man said. I don't hear President Trump saying nothing about no New World Order. I've heard other leaders talk about New World Orders before Speak the Truth, but I don't hear President Trump talking about that. The nation's coming together to fight against corruption. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? Like, we can't protect corruption or want corruption to continue. We got to stand against that. I guess I'm going to take that personally because I'm a legal person. And I deal with corruption a lot more than just a regular person. If we want to unify the world, we don't want Charlie Kirk to get shot in his neck. Shout out Representative Jasmine Crockett. Look, I watch CNN. You guys know that. I think it was Dana. Dana asked her point blank. She said, people who are mentally unstable, they follow you and they look up to you, Miss Crockett. People like Ghostwriter, who is a fan of yours. So we've heard you say stuff that, maybe we thought was a little like saying that, like calling somebody Adolf Hitler or something like that is a little inflammatory. Do you need to bring it down some? I think it was kind of like a tough question, but it was a fair question. You know what she said? She said that ain't nobody wanted Charlie Kirk to get shot in the neck. She said, we want to protect his right to freedom of speech because that's like, if they don't like what I'm saying, very smart woman, very respected. She's able to do that on the spot. They don't like what I'm saying, how I'm saying that President Trump like Adolf Hitler. If they don't like that, then, you know what I'm saying, they could be shooting at me next. So we got to respect, they already shot at President Trump. We got to respect the freedom of speech between or amongst each other. Let's handle these disputes in the court. That's my argument. That's our system set up. That's the right way to do it. If two parties have a dispute, the way we handle that dispute in America is in the court. Charlie Kirk was having debates with people. I would have loved to debate it. I feel like I would have assassinated everything because if he was not a Christian and he just disliked black people, that would have been harder. But because he was a Christian, that's how I would have defeated his argument about DEI. Because he was a Christian. And God loves all people, man. He doesn't care about a race. How can you create a race and then think, well, he might favor a race, but that don't matter. But amongst us, man, we're supposed to love one another. That's what the scripture says. So I'm saying if you a Christian and that's what you preaching, that's what we gonna have an issue with, man. You see what I'm saying? Is that you're not loving one another. So I would have loved to debate him. A lot of things, like I believe as a conservative, but I'm a black man, bro. I stand hand in hand with the ACLU because what the ACLU believes in is protecting humanity. You guys got to understand this. We have to protect humanity. That's something that we all have in common is humanity. I heard Charlie Kirk preaching that. But what I'm saying is that Martin Luther King was a fighter for humanity. That's facts. He fought a human cause like Nelson Mandela and like John F. Kennedy. They fought causes for humans. That's protecting humanity. You know what I'm saying? And that's my take on that. But I respect Jasmine for that because we got to give everybody the freedom to say what they want. But I agree that at the same time, we got to be adults together and realize that we got to bring the temperature down. But even more important than the political climate in our nation, because that's very important now, that's the glue of your democracy now, on the arguments in which your democracy is founded on. Speak the truth, Angelo. I know, Angelo, you love President Trump, and good morning. How are you doing? But what I'm saying is, do you believe we need to have one party to have supreme power over all government? Because when that becomes the Democratic Party, it's going to backfire and hurt you. Or should we have the same system we have? See, that debate is important. That's why that death of Charlie Kirk is important. Hearing Jasmine Crockett and AOC and other Democratic leaders speak on this situation is important. Hearing President Trump and Vice President Vance, we need to bring the temperature down on this political climate. Guys, this isn't hate. This is just facts. Number one, ending the war in Russia and Ukraine was a campaign promise of President Trump. Am I right or wrong? Okay? So when we get to my analysis, I'm just going to ask you, am I right or wrong? Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Ending the war, okay, in Ukraine with Russia, that was a campaign promise of President Trump to quickly end the war. It's very complicated. I understand that. So I think it will be a huge stain on him politically. Angela, what you think? Speak the truth. What you think? I think it would be a huge stain on President Trump politically and on his legacy, if not for that reason alone, that he promised to end this war. Number two, there has been a world order in the war since the ending of the world wars, okay? That order is that you do not invade sovereign countries. Hold up, Ghost. Hold up. I hear this all the time. Hold up, Ghost. How many times America has invaded a foreign country? Let me try this again to all my America haters. The order is that you do not invade a foreign country, a sovereign country, and redraw international borders. How many international borders America withdrew? If America went to Iraq, is not Iraq's international border the same as it was before they went in? If America went into Afghanistan, is their international border the same? All these nations America has attacked, they didn't redraw international borders. That's international law. If Putin takes Crimea, then Putin is redrawing international borders. Does that make sense? And that's what Putin did. He took Crimea. So that's redrawing an international border, a sovereign nation. America has not done that. You got to understand international law and not just say how you feel and what you think. With the taking of Crimea, Russia has violated the world order. They have violated international law. What you think about Putin, Angelo? I know you MAGA. Angelo, I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear Speak the Truth's opinion about Vladimir Putin, excuse me. And how I feel is that with the taking of Crimea, that's something that America has never done to you America haters. Russia has violated the order, and Russian aggression must be faced with stiff opposition to reinforce the world order. If you do not reinforce that world order right now, you will have to eventually sometime later. And I heard President Trump say that, and I'm happy that he recognizes that. That not reinforcing that world order, that means that why can't China take Taiwan? Listen to me. Can you listen? If you have ears, Angelo, y'all listen. Y'all listen. Y'all hear me now. If you allow Putin to take Ukraine, why can't China take Taiwan? Because when they get to comparing America's not taking any land for themselves like Putin is taking from himself, number one. And number two, I said this before, the best thing that could happen to Haiti is that America could bomb it, occupy. That sounds so outrageous and ridiculous. And some of my politically correct word police are going to trip out. But the best thing can happen, if you know the world, Haiti right now, their economy is collapsed. It's worse than if they were attacked under a missile was dropped on them. When America America not only, they went and rebuilt, how many billions can we reach? You want me to research it? How many billions was spent in nation building in Iraq and in Afghanistan? Not as much in Afghanistan, but America goes and attacks these countries and then rebuilds them. What? Stay there for how many years spending? That's what President Trump was talking about. So America is completely different than these other nations. Than what China has a selfish in their mind with Taiwan. You see what I'm saying? Number three, Russia and China are our biggest geopolitical foes. And they quietly want to see the destruction of the United States as a world superpower. Look, I have a question for you, right? Angelo, speak the truth. Say we on the block. Okay? And you got your family. This your house right here. You can't see in the sand, but this your house right here. Okay? And this your family. And let's say you had an order on this block since, you know what I'm saying, whatever's been, whatever. Say you the neighborhood watch. Say you the neighborhood watch. But you got two new families, and they got a lot of money, and they got weapons, and they plotting on you. That's what's going on. They plotting on America, man. That's facts. That's not no conspiracy. If you listen to the State Department and Marco Rubio, or if you listen to American intelligence, or you listen to whoever you listen to, they're going to tell you the same thing in a completely different way than I'm saying. I'm just telling to you like this. They plotting on America. They want that spot. They want America's spot. Number 4, there are many reasons to end this war with Ukraine. Having a long-term peace agreement as a sovereign nation. That's my goal for Ukraine. President Trump, Vladimir Zelensky, and Vladimir Putin have to work out them details. That's the difference between me and Charlie Kirk. I'm not gonna I would never advise a nation I don't get that deep. The same with Israel, because I know I have a little wisdom to know that, you know what I'm saying, the people, these leaders, they're going to do it how they want to do it. So you just want to help, you know what I'm saying, corner them or push them towards a certain way. So what I'm saying that in my mind, this is another advice situation where a long-term peace agreement with Ukraine being a sovereign nation is a win for America. That's a win for President Trump, and that's a win for Ukraine. Whenever you have an agreement, a peace agreement, you have to have concessions. Angelo, do you feel like Ukraine should give up Crimea to have peace in that war? Speak the truth. Do you feel like you should keep fighting this war against Russia, who's not going to stop, who's just temping it up, so Ukraine could keep Crimea? That's the question. That's where we at right now, okay? The biggest of all, in my opinion, is due to the loss of human life that is completely senseless over a little strip of land. This is a crisis against humanity and has direct implications that are incorporated in this conflict that can lead to World War III. I didn't say this conflict is going to or will lead to World War III. You got to listen. There is direct implications that are incorporated within this conflict that can lead it further. It is imperative that President Trump successfully navigates this end to this war. And the only way we could do it is by getting tough on the Russian mobster. That's my take, guys. Out here in the Finger Lakes, man, in upstate New York, man. It's a beautiful day out here, man. I say it's probably about 65 degrees right now, 70 degrees, not too chilly. Out here by the lake. It'll probably be a warm day today, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the Appalachian Mountains, you guys. Background. When I first came to New York, I thought they were bluffs, bro. I'm not on my geography, you know what I'm saying? Can't know everything, man. Gotta admit that you do not know everything and be willing to learn. That's humility. You need that. That's how you gain wisdom. You get taught stuff every day, or I do. I learn more than a high school person or a college person. Not a college person, probably. Definitely a high school person. I'm still learning every day. Behind you is the Appalachian Mountains in the furthest background. And then there's a beautiful lake. We up here in upstate New York. It is one of 4 Finger Lakes spread going from west to east. close to Cornell University. It's a beautiful life, man. Life is what you make it, man. We make decisions all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? I made the decision or the choice with my life that I wanted to fight for justice, bro. Like, you could call me what you want to. I get called all kind of names. You know what I'm saying? All kind of names, good names and bad names. I do have a past, so I can't all the way criticize being called those names, but I do get called a lot of names. Some of it true, some of it's not. But look, I'm gonna tell you this. This is facts. You only gonna get one life, man. And the life that you get is a gift from God. One day, God is gonna want that gift back. What does that mean, Ghost? That means that he's gonna take that life back. And the only thing's gonna count at that time is what you did with this time that you live. Whether you believe in that or not, that is straight facts. There is a creator of all things. That creator created and he is it. It might not be what you think about. The man that we think about is Jesus. Yes, God is a man too in a human form. That's Jesus, but we talking about God, the Almighty. Bro, I come out here like that, man, spend time out here, reflecting thoughts, man. People asking me all kind of crazy questions. You probably see them in the stream right now. You seen them today. I was trying to pick them off. Can't pick them all off. Am I going through a trial or a test in my life right now? I probably am. Am I hopeless? No way whatsoever. So people ask me questions about like me being homeless or something like that. You know, I'm so real, bro. I just tell you the truth, just straightforward. You know what I'm saying? The people that matter to me the most, the people that love me the most, the politicians, they all know my situation. It ain't no sense in lying about it. You know what I'm saying? Might as well be honest and true. So they ask me that. I'll tell you it's by choice. So Ghost Rider just chose to go be homeless. No, that's not what that is, bro. I got in a situation. And due to it being an active case, I'm not going to really speak on it. But that situation, bro, it's like I had a choice. I could submit to being harassed as a disabled veteran. As a disabled veteran. I'll let you see me when I say this. As a disabled veteran, okay, I could submit, Angelo, to being harassed, or I could stand up and fight for justice. So I had to make an exchange, a choice. And I stood up and fought for justice. And so now I'm out here. There ain't no tears being shed. I'm eating. I'm surviving. I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And at the same time, I'm doing something that is unbelievable and it's epic. And I will remember for the rest of my life, 13 states, and I'm not finished. They say Vermont is a very good possibility. Angelo, New Jersey, we coming, baby. You say, what else? Connecticut? Oh yeah, that's on the list. Massachusetts, you already know. Big blue, big blue, big blue. Where else we going, y'all? New Hampshire, very good possibility. Maryland, yes, sir. Pennsylvania, got to go back. Got business in Pennsylvania. New York City! Speak the truth, New York City. Y'all ready? We had to come out here and spend some time in God's country, man. That's where I spend my time at. Out here in these mountains. Elevation about 2,500 feet, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys look down there, that's the end of the lake. It's a long lake. It's about 30, 40 miles. And then you got about 20 miles that way over that mountain, and there's another lake. There ain't no mountains there, but it's more of a lake. The water's so beautiful, it's so gorgeous, it's so peaceful. Upstate New York. But they talk about, am I living in my car or sleeping in my car, man? You know what I'm saying? That's what they trying to ask your boy, man. You feel me? Bro, I'm out here traveling the world, man, living my best life. And at the same time, it might be a struggle. That blessing isn't what I might have looked like or wanted to look like, but it's what God wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I'm living, man. I'm blessed and thankful, bro. Blessed and thankful. So he's just out here chilling, man. Speak the Truth said he want to go fishing, bro. It's a perfect spot for it. And you can stand right here off the rocks, bro. If you guys like chilling and stuff like that, man, you know what I'm saying? You could be out here chilling and everything, bro. It's so pretty out here. It's gorgeous. Yes, sir. Jersey, baby. You already know, baby. We're coming. Big Ghost Rider, man. You said you've been to Lake Michigan. That's great, man. If you guys, you know, he watching the content, Speak the Truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, all the We the Peoples, Angelo, I don't know if you've seen them yet, but all the We the Peoples is under the video vlogs. So I make a vlog of my travels, you know what I'm saying? Erie, Pennsylvania, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I'm in New York right now. Of course, Lake Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Portage, Michigan. Shout out Portage and Kalamazoo. Western Michigan University. You know what I'm saying? Champaign, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Spent some time out there. Shout out Champaign. Of course, Tennessee, Knoxville, Nashville. Man, we're going to do this, Cleveland, bro. I'm going to forget the cities in the States, and we ain't finished yet. We over halfway through, but we not finished yet. NYC, baby. Connecticut coming. Boston coming right now. So that's what I'm saying. At the same time, you say, am I going through a struggle? I'm saying, bro, like, I'm not just down bad. It's not like I'm not just down bad. I'm not down bad at all. You know what I'm saying? It's not comfortable and it's not easy, but I mean, you go through times in life that's not comfortable and easy. The trade-off for me being in a situation not comfortable and easy, when Angelo know you could be childish and laugh, but I achieved great victories, got the most money I ever got in my life multiple times, so I'm headed in the right trajectory. I got new cases. I got more money coming. Listen, I'm telling you guys, in 1 month, bro, I got 20 racks. And it wasn't all at one time for one place. And another month, I got like 14, 15 racks. One time or one place, bro, I got one place, one time, 2 times that, 30,000, 35,000 coming. I got cases right now, litigation right now. On that computer right now, I got documents with an attorney right now that I get on and chastise an attorney right now. We in the dance right now with an attorney right now. An attorney right now. Federal case right now in Mississippi right now. Their service is on September 24th. The United States Marshals is going to serve a municipality in Mississippi right now this month, boy. So you got to understand that. You can't just go look and say, okay, this guy's over here in this situation and it looks like this. But he got a whole family in Mississippi and he got a whole bigger family in Houston, Texas. But that's not the move, though. The move is we litigating right now, right here. So I'm saying, it's weird, bro. I know, and I'm sorry. And I mean, you know, I'm a disabled veteran. I do have my problems, you know, but that's just what it is. And people explain and they ask and they don't understand and they mess up and mistake me. Listen, if you see me in a 5-piece suit and you know, instead of that BMW, I pulled up in a Fanta, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, people know me now in a lot of places. Before I started traveling, they knew me. A lot of powerful people. So I'm saying I pull up though and I'm like goated up like Benjamin Crump. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying there's a certain level of respect you have. What I'm saying is I have those talent and abilities to do exactly what my brother could do. That boy goated. He a general. I respect Benjamin Crumb. That's the stuff I do. Y'all might respect Drake and Kendrick. I ain't hating on that. I used to too. But I respect Benjamin Crumb. I respect the ACLU. That's my thing. And politicians like AOC and my baby Jasmine. That's my thing. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, you seeing a situation, you gotta understand you're not seeing all of it. The goal was to do what I was doing in the way that I wanted to do it. Due to the situation, since I have to say this and explain this for the ignorant people, due to the situation, there's a federal case that's being litigated, that's about to be litigated in the city that I was in. If y'all was watching the content, you know I'm in Biloxi. There's a federal case litigation that I'm litigating in that city. So my departure from that city or not returning to that city, I can't speak on it. But that's family though, in that city. That's where y'all see me at in Biloxi. They check on me regularly in more ways than you think about. Regularly. Understand that. I got a bigger family in Houston. Again, it's stuff that don't need to be said publicly because that's just how we do it with the courts. But I'm saying all of these are lawsuits and situations. It's lawsuits, it's paperwork, it's documents, it's battle fight, it's court fights, it's a Miller legal. 3 years and 2 months of fighting for justice for disabled veterans. 3 years and 2 months of fighting for justice for females getting sexually assaulted at work. 3 years and 2 months of fighting for justice against powerful businesses and speaking truth to power. Boy, that's my reputation. That's my testimony. So you knowing that, you know what I'm saying, got a powerhouse young legal documents business that is got a very good record and reputation in the court, filing cases with merits. Bro, I sue people from where I sue you from around the world. And I don't care how powerful you are. I don't care how that I got a reputation as a winner against some of the most powerful. That's what matters. You looking at a temporary situation, which, by the way, how many of y'all in this stream from Mississippi, Louisiana, or Alabama? A lot of you guys. How many of y'all, even the ones that are have wealth, you have been 2 weeks in upstate New York? They don't do that. They've been in New York City. I know homegirls that stayed 6 months. Some of them. But I'm saying, like, as many places constantly the whole year. I started the year. Look, they giving me smack and look. I told them about, like, y'all could go watch all of this content. I'm recording the whole time. So I told them about some like as a young business, like my business making $14,000 some in a month. Paper documents, 14 racks in 1 month. Paper documents, okay? So, like, I had a situation in which that's a lawsuit I can't speak on, but I had to stay in Texas for 3 months. I couldn't leave the state. So I did Wyndham hotels. The content, if you go from January the 1st through March the 25th, look on the content under the live streams. They were all different Wyndham Suites hotels. Bro, I spent 5-6 racks. I got rebuked for doing that at that time, man. Like, way too much money. I could have saved it and still dealt with that situation. So me having that knowledge, I couldn't help the situation that caused the medical harm that caused me to file that lawsuit to fight that fight. But what I'm saying is me having that knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that caused me to be out here. Because I still, regardless, I mean, how many people could afford for 120 days to tour America, doing content, not working, and living and surviving? Can afford that? 120 days. You could pick up from where you living right now for 120 days and leave. That ain't something people just do or couldn't afford. But it's something that was in my mind necessity for me to do. Listen, I'm saying I got situations, legal situations that you can't just say, oh, he just wanted to go out there and travel and do podcasts and record videos and file lawsuits. Like there was situations that separated me from the strongholds in which I was at. You know what I'm saying? So we just wait till these situations. A couple of them are quicker than others. You know what I'm saying? We just wait for the situations to roll around. And at the time, I'm going to finish doing what I'm doing. I don't have no problems with what I'm doing, bruh. You know what I'm saying? The only problem I have is as much time I spend bringing y'all content. I'm talking about live streams, and I'm talking about vlogs, and I'm talking about the donations and the support for the channel. That's the only problem I have. People ask me why we've been doing it for a year. I'm supposed to be off a phone. But I'm saying, bro, I'm not complaining, I'm thankful, but the amount of money I get in donations, man, that's the amount of time and the effort. But I'm saying, ain't nobody bringing you political content like that. Ain't nobody doing it like that, bro. Real talk. Oh, what's up, Jeanette? I didn't see you in here, baby. How are you doing? And I got you right now. Rudy says, good job, man. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate it. I just wanted to explain that to people because they've been coming with this little goofy nonsense, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get that clear for anybody who come back and click on that video and wonder what's going on with Ghost. Janita Mitchell, she said, it's been a long time. I know it has, man. It's like y'all come in and dip in, but I expect us to be strong next year during the midterms, especially if they hold conventions. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be moving around. You know what I'm saying? I got just before. I just don't get paid like you get paid because I'm not going to punch a clock like you going to punch a clock. You know what I'm saying? But I got it set up to where I could survive however I want to survive, obviously. It might be tough or hard sometimes, but I could fix that. But I got it set up to where when I do get paid, it's going to be more than most people get paid for half a year or a year. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get a whole year's salary at one time. That means if I'm getting $30,000 from one place that an attorney has that case that I'm pretty sure I'll get that money from, that means I got to come up with about $20,000 in lawsuits, and I got to time it like I did before so I could get 50 racks at one time, and then we ain't going to have this problem no more, right? Because I done did what I need to do. My credit score is good. It's great. $80,000 loan paid off, and I paid off a $14,000 car loan within a year. So that allows me to buy the house. That's why you don't spend all your money on an apartment where you just giving them the money and you ain't owning nothing. We need to buy something, which is perfect timing for me because President Trump finally got too late power to lower interest rates. And they say he gonna lower them again, and he gonna lower them again, and he gonna lower them again. So if the economy look bad, that might help us because for me, my income is solid as the U.S. Treasury. My income is as solid as the richest nation on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Those court cases as solid as those courts are and those judges' rulings. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to wait a little bit, man. And while I wait, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a choice. You feel what I'm saying? I could go, you saying, I could be in a situation to where it's more of a mental struggle because you got to understand the people I'm suing. You might get a case or two where I sue just like a business, but 99% of the people I'm suing, you talking about power, they could crush you at a moment's notice. So, Miss Janita, I had to get up out of Dodge, baby. I had to get up out of Dodge. She said, it's been a long time. I'm blessed and doing good. I had to change phones. I was a mild ever understand if you have enough, love you, need some Kool-Aid. Where that Kool-Aid at, baby? Listen, I guess you could say I done drunk some Kool-Aid because, you know, they done turned me out a little bit. The more my conservative side is coming out, but, you know, you got to think I'm an independent. You know what I'm saying? If I see a Dow Jones number go higher than it's ever, I'm talking about, like, forget the Dow Jones, the S&P 500. I'm talking about it hit, like, it start reaching and hitting numbers. It start reaching and hitting numbers that it ain't never hit. And I know that I saw a statistic that says 68% of Americans have money in the stock market, and the majority of that money they have in the stock market is in them 401ks and retirements. There's a lot more concerns than the 401k, in retirement for Americans, but that's within their top concerns. So if you see that stock market doing that good, I just give those compliments. And the stuff that's not doing good, we just talk about it. Like with Russia, we got to get that war to an end. And anybody who is preaching and saying that Putin is not bad and he should have all of Ukraine, how they make the concessions is on President Trump, it's on President Putin, and it's on President Zelensky. All I'm saying is President Trump, he needs to ASAP get President Zelensky and Putin at the table. I'm saying, what we waiting on? All that is a phone call. You got your pageantry and everything. You got the political people, they excited and everything. Where we gonna do it at? Say in Switzerland. So in Switzerland, you got the Swiss Alps as the backdrop. You got Russia versus you. On the one side, you got the Vladimir Putin, the Russian gangster, and on the left side, you got Zelensky. Y'all don't sleep on Zelensky. He a tough little cookie now. And you got Big President T in the middle with the American flag, and y'all got the Swiss Alps behind us, and President Trump, he doing a meet between. It's gonna be a charade. You know it is. You know how President Trump and them get down. But I'm saying, y'all, it's time to do that, ain't it? What we waiting on? You know, the first time he get them together in one room, they gonna have to keep them from hitting each other. They gonna be about to fight. They gonna be boxed. They ready. You know, they're different. They're not as civilized over there as we are. This the civilized world. Putin is a gangster. He ain't finna box them for real, but I'm saying, you know, he gonna be trying to do his You know how Putin is. He not finna come off for nothing at first. But I'm saying, in my opinion, by the third meeting, President Trump should have them calm down enough to get a ceasefire, and within 4 or 5 meetings, he should be able to end the war. How the decisions they come up with, ain't no podcaster, Lega Media pundit, or no pundit should tell them 3 world leaders how they should come to the end of that. All I'm saying is for America and President Trump to win, Ukraine still has to be a sovereign nation with a long-term security guarantee. They want to Zelensky ain't trying to give up Crimea, but he can't beat Russia. And we don't want no forever war. So whatever they decide, they could decide, because Putin ain't stopping. He'll kill everybody's child in the world to get Ukraine. That's my take. So I thank you for that super chat, that sticker. I see people in here liking it. He said, when I brought a 17 Pro Max in orange, I thought Trump. Man, I don't do that though, man. They do that personal. I know, like out in Cali and stuff like that, in Illinois and down in New York City, you know what I'm saying? I know they do that though. You know what I'm saying? That and the Republicans do it too, both sides. I just don't do no personal stuff though. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about the jobs report, if somebody got in here and said, hey man, President Biden had 48 months of positive job numbers, and President Trump been in office for 8 months and he only got 6 months. He already down 2 months. President Biden is 48-0 and President Trump is 6-2. So who better on the economy? See, if you come in here talking like that, you know what I'm saying, we could laugh and joke, but if you talking about the man personally, man, I don't do no personal stuff. I think that's a problem we have in our politics. You need to keep your feelings in. That's how I was taught in the law. I keep my feelings in personal, and I say stats and facts. The good stats and the good facts and the bad stats and the fast bad, it's all the same. P Branch, I appreciate that donation. That was he just give a straight sticker, man. I appreciate that. If you guys will y'all please like the donation? It's free to show some love. If you haven't liked the video, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Also, I want to see you guys. I appreciate you coming a little bit. I want to see if I could get one person to get a channel membership. Like P Branch and like Real Kabart, those donations right there are good enough for a channel membership. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see channel memberships, trying to promote channel memberships. Like, look, everybody or anybody who comes or they talk personal stuff or they have personal attacks, man, I'm just saying we don't need to do no personal attacks. Because I believe in my heart and my mind, that's the whole problem with, you know what I'm saying, the negativity. One thing I do like about Charlie Kirk, and I mean this with all my heart, okay? One thing I do like about Charlie Kirk, and We the People #6 is coming out tomorrow, and it is in honor of Charlie Kirk, and I know a lot of politicians. Like I tell you, it's two females that I have in Congress that I really follow and I really like and I really want to connect with. You know what I'm saying? Like they decided to vote not to honor Charlie Kirk's memory. You see what I'm saying? But that's on them. You know what I'm saying? They're Democrats too. So as Democrats, they're going to feel like that go, hey, new, my baby, y'all. Right now, 10 Legal Wars Live gifted memberships. This is the highest number of memberships, thanks to ANU, that we have had since February of this year. I think now we up to almost 20 channel members because of ANU. She gifted 15 by herself, and I think we had a solid 7 or 8, so that's over 20 members, man. You know what I'm saying? That's over 20 members. ANU, baby, thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what I was looking for, the support, man. You know what I'm saying? We need support. We need big time support on the channel, man. That's what we need, man. Because look, like Bernie or like AOC, man, I'm not getting no money from nobody. I ain't got a studio yet. And I pray to God when I got a studio, I'll get a studio and I'll get one where no one is able to dictate to me the kind of content that like we put out, because you need the truth. You know what I'm saying? Or if I ever did end up doing some political strategist, being a political strategist or something like that, that would change the game totally. But I'm saying just coming out here, just trying to tell people about politics and kick it with y'all and stuff like that. I feel like, man, I just want to give y'all the truth. I try to give you the news. Hey, news says, anytime, love you, brother, sweetheart. I love you too so much. So much, so much. Sister, I love you too. So much, so much, so much. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I just got a couple people, man, they just support because they know, bro, like Ghost be giving them the truth. I've been giving them the truth the whole time. Brian C., man, you know what I'm saying? Colin. And like they ask about Kitty, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like people that we had from day one, man. That was with me like when I called it the war room, bro. I was in there 21 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? They used to jank on me about my settings and my scenes and my backgrounds. Like that might be one of the main reasons or other reasons I decided to come out here. You know what I'm saying? Guys, like, look, I'll just give y'all a little information and a little history, okay? Make sure I don't fall down out here, man. Look, up here in upstate New York, like in this area, they call it the Finger Lakes. Somebody made me look it up yesterday. They were formed from glacier activity long time ago. But anyway, man, out here in the Finger Lakes, man, in upstate New York, man, like there's in about a 15-mile, 20, 30-mile radius or so, bro, there's about 100 or 150 waterfalls. Bro, it's just so funny. I never understood this. I never even knew this till some guy who was from here told me the other day. He didn't tell me this, but I realized this. When I started this journey, I went from Biloxi, I rode through Alabama, then I rode through Georgia, and then I went to Chattanooga. Anybody who know me know every time I've been to Tennessee, I've been to Tennessee probably about 6 times out of the last 8 or 9 years. Chattanooga's my spot where I touched down. From Chattanooga, I went to Knoxville, and in Knoxville, it's a very unique city to the north, towards Kentucky. That is where the Appalachian begins. So when I first started doing content in Tennessee, I went south to Pigeon Forge in the Smoky Mountains, and then I didn't even know it, but I was riding up to Crossville, close to Kentucky, and y'all remember that content I was bringing y'all like at the lake like this when I first started with the mountains in the background. It was the Appalachian Mountains, and it was the beginning of the Appalachians in Tennessee. And the reason I'm so excited and passionate and telling you this, because the Appalachians go all the way up, and this is where they end, here in New York. That's what the guy told me. This is the end of the mountain range up here in New York. So I started at the foot of the Appalachians. I took a circle, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie. Y'all know I'm from the beach, Biloxi. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to leave the beach area. I ended it in Lake Erie in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania. And then I've been back up here in the Appalachian Mountains, guys. It's gorgeous up here. Tell me it's not. Tell me it's not. Look, to walk in my shoes, okay? A new understands this. You know, people understands this, y'all. To walk in my shoes, you have to have the strength and the integrity to do something. Integrity is the doing the right thing even when no one else is around. So that means when I'm by myself even, or it's something that I know I probably could get away with, I'm still gonna do the right thing. That means you grounded and you solid in your resolve to be a good person or a productive person or enforce the law, whatever you need that integrity from. I learned that in the U.S. military. Shout out to all my veterans. What I'm saying is that my intentions and purposes for being out here is multi-purpose. Of course I want to travel. Of course I want to see the world, the way America, excuse me. Of course I want to do my podcast and bring y'all great content out here. The way I'm doing it, no, I don't want to be doing it this way. But I'm standing 10 on the justice and the lawsuits that I'm fighting. That's what you gotta know. That's what's different than me, than everybody else, y'all. I'm standing 10 on the justice and the lawsuits that I'm fighting. 2 open cases. 1 federal case, he finna get served. That is a municipality getting served at the end of this month. And the next case, you know what I'm saying? I got the lawyer on the line already. We already at that point. Like, that's why I'm really out here, man. I'm out here for real, man. I'm fighting for justice, man. I'm a justice fighter. Every case I win as a disabled veteran, I'm protecting the rest of the disabled veterans. You protect one, you protect all. It's for the whole. You see what I'm saying? Every case I win as a black man, I'm protecting the rest of the black people. When I won that case, or I went after that man who I felt like he let his employees sexually assault women, I was protecting all women, man. Protect one, protect all. United we stand, divided we fall. That's my message, man. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. They did his funeral yesterday, man. They done put the man in the ground. Tomorrow I have his vlog coming out honoring Charlie Kirk. Man, after all this, man, we just need to let this go. We need to tamp down on the political violence. At the same time, we need to support his wife and his daughters moving forward. Turning Point USA delivering that message for conservatism. If you support conservatism, support conservatism. But I'm saying, like, we don't need to move forward with any messages of hate, all messages of unity. That's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to unify, y'all. We trying to unify, man. I'm trying to get y'all to go out there and live your life, man, and make memories that'll last forever, man. You know what I'm saying? I think about it, man. When I was in college, actually getting a degree, I was in college getting my paralegal degree. And boy, I'm talking about, man, I was getting so much money back from the University of Southern Mississippi. Ha! I was working, I was a server like AOC. That's why I could identify with her. How many servers or food service workers or any kind of workers? I support all American workers. I support American workers, all American workers. I don't care if they work at Burger King. I don't care if they work at the Dollar General store. I don't care where they work at. I support the American workers. I do not support the American business owners. The American business owners are the ones who create the jobs. True that. But we know too many stories of these rich business owners, how they could step on the backs of poor people, man. I support American workers. I support American jobs. I support American first. That sounds like President Trump, but we got to make them numbers match what you support. Because I'm an American and I want America to win, the business of America. You could call me a patriot. That's what I am. And if I'm a patriot, I'm going to look at that stat sheet and I'm going to see President Biden had 100,000 jobs. He had 48 months straight almost, or where he was adding job growth. That's supporting America. It don't matter who the man's name is. When I pull that paper down, them numbers don't say no name. Them numbers don't say that 22,000 don't have President Trump or President Biden's name on it. 133,000 or 31,000 for that month, it didn't have President Trump's, or the numbers do not lie. They just are a number. And whatever name they putting on that number, you got to be responsible for that. If we expecting you to add 60,000 jobs, you only added 10,000. You got to stand on that, man. No participation trophies. We'll give you time to get it right, but you got to stand on what's going on. That's who Ghostwriter is, man. They ain't seen nothing like it. It's a truth network. That's why my baby A knew she support me, and I love you, my sister. She my sister in truth. That's why Colin support me. He my brother in truth. Brian C support me. My boy Patrick support me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware of all my channel members. If I didn't call your name, man, my boy Colin Radley, he support me, man. I love all y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. It's a truth network. And while I'm doing it, man, y'all know I'm a soldier, man. I stand all 10, man. I go through any struggle for justice, bruh. And my opposition or some of my haters might be saying it's just a personal fight for justice, but I promise you, I've told y'all this 1,000 times. Janita Mitchell, I love you too, baby. She been here from beginning. Speak the truth. I told y'all this 1,000 times, right? Listen to this. If I got a business and they know I'm disabled and they know I'm a veteran and they know I'm black, but they choose to discriminate on me, Miss Janita, do you think I'm the first person they discriminated on? Why, no. And you think if I know as a legal person that I am that they discriminate on me, and if I turn around and walk off, the next veteran that come up here, the next disabled person that come up here, the next black person that come behind me, do you think that I'm gonna be the last person they discriminated on? No, I wasn't the first one they discriminated on, and I'm not gonna be the last one. So what I'm saying, if I reach back and I grab my legal documents and I reach back and I cock back and I slap that business owner with a $25,000 fine, the next black or disabled or veteran that come behind me, I guarantee you he ain't gonna discriminate on him. I guarantee you he gonna think 3 times, 4 times, boy. Them 25,000, they'll hit you with 75,000. First violation of the ADA, that's $150,000 fine for the second one. And you talking about with me, you owe me 40,000, 40 bands, and I'm gonna try to get the government about 150,000 if I'm in the right state and if they want to get this money. and teach these businesses and these municipalities to stop harassing people. That's how we change the world, man. Unity. All that negativity, you wake up in the morning with any negative human being, we need to stop all of that. We have to stop the violence. We have to tamp it down. Our police words, we have to be wise enough as a people, as a collective whole. You're going to have idiots that fall through the cracks. But the conversation is to teach the youth, to let them have freedom of speech, but we want to we want to teach them or try to get them to choose kindness or choose the right way. It's integrity. It's a lost word. It's a lost art. It needs to be taught to our society. You can have integrity if you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or Hindu or Buddhist or whatever, a Presbyterian or Catholic or Lutheran or Southern Baptist or this Baptist or that, whatever you are, you can have integrity. If you're an atheist, you can have integrity. An atheist might not be doing God's thing, but there's people who don't believe in God who obey the law. They're good citizens. They're just not Christians. That's what the world lacks. That causes people to go out there and do bad things, man. And I'm not trying to preach no sermon. I'm just saying, man. So I went into all that because they asked me about me and my living situation and why, and they don't understand it. So I'm just trying to help them get a good grasp of what's going on in my life for the people who care. Like Miss Janita Mitchell, who been here from day one. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Just, I personally, man, look, when I was in my 20s and 30s, man, I used to be in a club. That's what I did, right? In my 20s, really. I had a spout in my 30s, but not really. I didn't go to the club. I was just chilling with a bunch of females. In my 40s, bro, I started enjoying what I think is the finer things of life for older people. I enjoy nature. I enjoy being outdoors. I enjoy going to art museums. Waterfalls is a passion of mine. I gotta watch myself, especially in a place like this, because I try to go to every waterfall. You see what I'm saying? That's a passion of mine. So as I got older, man, I started doing the things that I enjoy. The things I enjoy, man. I just got in a situation, y'all, to where I had to fight for justice. I was put in that situation where I was challenged. And so it's either you can, you know what I'm saying, accept whatever life that they would allow you to have. You see what I'm saying? Or you can fight. Some people don't have the strength to fight. Some people don't have what it takes to go through for that fight. But at the end of that fight, if you win all the time like I do, and you know you're going to be successful, victory, I done tasted the victory. You feel what I'm saying? I done tasted the victory. The amount of money, man. And you guys, I done told y'all about this, and some of y'all know about this, and some of y'all seen the money, and you could go to the YouTube channel and see it. I pay bills. That's how my credit score got that good, man. You wouldn't believe it. 2 years ago, my credit score didn't look that good. You talking about I paid 2 bills, it's a 700 something. And then if you look at the credit history, my credit history, I'm talking about years of it, boy. You hear me? I'm talking about years of it, boy. Years. Bro, I done paid, like, who hasn't? But I'm saying I done paid like car note for about 12 years straight. On time, most of the time. I try to. You know what I'm saying? People hating. You know what I'm saying? Why you hating? I just want you to give you something to hate on. You say I'm in the car, and then look, I just want to show you it ain't no dusty. We ain't dusty either up in here either. Till you see, ain't no cracks and no leather and no seats. You know what I'm saying? Since we up in here, and then I just want to show you something, bro. Like, let you get the right perspective. You know what I'm saying? Boy, up in here chilling, big chilling. the right perspective. You feel what I'm saying? It's European leather, boy. You feel me? Hey, I want you to get the right perspective. I ain't saying you ain't got no perspective, but I just want to make sure you got the right perspective. You know, we got to get in position, man. You feel me? You feel me? That's the right perspective, man. You see them toes? You see my views? And then look, when it's time to do the cases, because I just got to wait for the money. The money coming. The money coming. The money coming. You feel me? I'm working on them lawsuits, man. I'm litigating cases. This is how I want to live, doing what I want to do, man. What's wrong with this? It's not a permanent situation. I'm not down bad. I still got my mama. Shout out to my mama. I love my mama, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my family, man. I still got people loving me, that care on me, they check on me, probably more than normal. You know what I'm saying? I look like I'm down bad, like my health wise. Like, I mean, I'm a disabled veteran. So you're going to expect to see the disability sometimes. But I'm saying I'm fairly don't bother people, fairly don't, you know what I'm saying? Just mind my business. I'm making it, man. I'm surviving. Getting to where I'm trying to go through, fighting the fight. And at the same time, I'm still at least capable of seeing, like, what I want to see and stuff. But I'm saying we kicking it for 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? There's a young lady out there on the pavilion, so, you know, they let me spend my time out there. How much time we got out there, y'all? Hour and a half? I'm talking about I didn't just give y'all news and content, like, you know what I'm saying? I gave advice, you know what I'm saying, that the right people here take that'll help America, because we know Putin and Zelensky, that meeting's got to be coming. It has to be coming. Like, that has to happen. So I'm saying if it has to happen, I'm just, you know, if you want to stop, you know, millions of people from dying, it could happen sooner than later. That's all I was saying, you know. Just give a couple little advice and some points and some news out there on the Appalachian Mountains up here in upstate New York. So I'm saying because I did that, I can't hop up in the BMW real quick. I seen all kind of people in the BMW doing content. I seen my boy Charleston White in the BMW doing content. My headphones at, man. Y'all seen my headphones? Y'all, did I have them headphones on when I came to the car? Man, I need them phones. Well, I put them joints at, man. Yeah, I got them. I be rocking that all red. They asked me why I be rocking that all red. Speak the truth. I guess if I had a BMW, nah, that ain't what that is, man. Y'all, you ain't just here to say, you ain't hear the story, man. Listen, I got lawsuits. I can't tell you, hey, I sued such and such and so and so. If I call the name, then you gonna know, like, really both of the businesses. I got lawsuits, man. Like, I'm a litigator. I got cases. I used to try to stunt and do that kind of stuff, man. That's growth. You know what I'm saying? That judge would be in there and told they done done it to me. He been and told the lawyer that he gonna be asking for all kind of information. They don't want you talking about no cases. I can't talk about no unresolved issues that in court, and I'm the litigator. I could tell you if it was a national case and they had y'all asking me stuff about something that like Louis, whatever that dude was, I could tell you little bitty bits and pieces. But I'm saying on a personal case that I'm litigating, man, I can't talk it. But I'm in middle of litigation. So when you saying it's sleeping, but he litigating cases, that's why. 2 of them currently. That's why. It ain't because you act like, okay, I'm just going to go to New York and I'm just going to go, or I'm going to go tour America, tour the world. And you know what I'm saying? I can't afford to spend you're looking at about $1,800 a month in hotels for 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking at, you talking, that's just baseline. That ain't you ain't at the Marriott or the Hilton. You know what I'm saying? Because the rooms that I really would stay in, that like they like apartments, they 2, 3 bedrooms. You know what I'm saying? Or suites. I want nothing but suites. I would stay in Wyndham. It's not the Hilton, but I would stay in their suites. But still, in all, I could do about 1,800, right? So that's about $7,200 for 4 months. You talking about the gas? When you put in the gas, when you put in the food, I'm talking about staying in all the. You talking about $15,000, $20,000, bro, for 4 months, and you got a job, you got to make money, so you can't. You leaving your money that you make. Most of y'all go to work unless you disabled. But I'm saying if you go to work, you leaving your money, and you got to spend 15, 20 racks to do what I'm doing. But you could say, Ghost, you could wait to get the 15, 20 racks. That's what I'm saying. This year, I spent 5 to 7 racks the first 3 months doing kind of like this in Texas. So I can't afford to spend. So we getting the traveling out the way right now without spending really nothing. Just out here living. These are goals that I have, bro. You see what I'm saying? I ain't never been to New York in my life, and I'm 45 years old, and I'm a traveler. When I'm gonna get to go? I've been to Detroit, but I ain't never touched my foot in the city outside the airport. I ain't never been to Ohio and Cleveland before this trip. I ain't never been to Connecticut. I'm finna go next month. I ain't never been to Massachusetts. I ain't never been to New York City in my entire life. And I'm 45, and I done been all over America places. I done lived in Kansas for 30 days. Kansas. Missouri. All over America. And I never been to NYC. So I'm saying, like, to me, it made sense. I do my lawsuits, I do the podcast, and I get to travel. I just it'll be a little tougher than what I would want it to be or think it should be or should be, but that's part of the game. Like I stood 10 on justice, I decided to fight. I didn't decide to take it. I didn't decide to forgive nobody. I didn't decide to none of that stuff. It ain't about none of that. We got to fight. You got to fight. You around here messing with people's lives, dictating their lives. We got to fight, boy. It's a battle. You know, Ghostwriter, bro, they want me in their corner because they know Big Ghost gonna square up with anybody, any kind of way, physically, on the court documents, on anything. That's what Ghost is, boy. I'm cool and calm, and I got a disability, and I'm a veteran, but I'm a fighter, sworn fighter. I be having famous podcasters doing impersonations of me. You know what I'm saying? I think it's funny, boy. I don't care what they say. I'm a fighter, boy. That's what I do. You can't disrespect or come at or do nothing like, come on, man. I'm going to stand 10 on what I believe and how I feel. And the world need to have a whole bunch of people like me. That's what I think. Not saying that I'm special, but you need to stand 10 on what you think and what you feel and what you believe, man. But a lot of people don't do that. They settle. Most people in the world, they settle. Most people in the world had dreams and goals and aspirations that they never reached. But the majority of people. You think everybody in the world said they want to make $65,000 a year and then marry a female that make $40,000? So together we get about $110,000 to have a family and struggle to live the American dream. You think that everybody in the world said they were going to do that? No, most people think that they're going to be pretty successful. Most people have goals. I had goals as a child that I wanted to travel, man. That's why I've been to so many places. I've been to Miami. I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi. I've been to Miami 8 times. I've been to Colorado 11 times. Listen to me, 11 times. How can you do that from Biloxi? It's like almost a day. You see what I'm saying? I stayed in Texas 2 years. Every city in Texas I done been to. El Paso, you name them. All of them. Besides Corpus Christi, I'm sorry. That was the one I wanted to hit. You know what I'm saying? All the states I hadn't visited, I'm hitting them now. It's only one more
tour I got. It's only Nevada, Cali, Oregon, and Washington, and it's over with. For me, for America, that's all my traveling. That's going to be about 43, 44 states. That's all I need. I can't, who going to get all 50 states? I'm going to be an old man trying to do that, hitting them states like Idaho. You feel what I'm saying? Hitting the, going all the way up to Maine and then traveling down, and all you're going to see up there is a gorgeous scenery that I've been seeing all over America, a big, gorgeous country. America, a big, beautiful country. Y'all see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Now I speak the truth. You can't hate on NYC. NYC is one of the most safest big cities in the world. Y'all don't know that. It didn't used to be in the 80s. In the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, it used to be almost like Chicago. Real dangerous. Not as dangerous as Chicago number-wise, but it was dangerous for a big city. It's not like that no more, man. They changed it. Man, somebody said I look like Mike Epps' Day-Day. Hey, that's what they be doing. They'll come in here try to jank on me, man. Like, look, they tipped me today and everything like that. They didn't do me too sour, you know what I'm saying? But my phone is like running low, though. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stay too long, but I will. It's only been 2 hours and 25 minutes. So they want to get in here and start jonesing. Who said that? Hey, what's up, Ghost? You said, hey, man, I've been in. Listen, you come in here trying to jank on me, bro. I'm telling you, I'm going to dig straight off in the side of your neck. Look, somebody come in here with a pseudonym AA, bro. That's why your mama needs some AA. Bro, I always go with your mama, though. It's your mama and your daddy, bro, because that's how I always start with people, they mamas and daddies. So I'm going to start janking with how I begin with your mama. Your mama needs some AA. She don't drink no alcohol, though, or she don't do no drugs, but she do got an addiction. Her addiction called that ghost. She got that ghost addiction. Hey, y'all be seeing him. Mama be creeping up out the BMW at like 3 o'clock in the morning. They be having people riding around looking in my cars. They think that his mama in the BMW. But I know how to play it. I be having his mama ducked off in the BMW. She need to stop coming through the BMW. Your mama needs some AA, boy. It's a roasting session, bro. Look, I done gave people 2 hours. These people, they know they come in here, they get the news, and then, you know, when we start doing this, they get on down. But it's people who stay in here for this. They stay in here to try to roast me. So you want to roast me? Let's roast, bro. Who roasting? Speak the truth. I ain't even trying to roast you, bro. I ain't even trying to roast you because you cool like that, but I want somebody else to roast. Okay, hold up. Somebody is trying to say, what do I think of Israel? What do I think of Israel? I think Israel, I'm a Christian. You know what I'm saying? So I support Israel. Do I support starving Palestinians? No, I don't support starving Palestinians, but I support Israel and Israel's right to statehood. So that's what I think of Israel. You asked me about Bibi Netanyahu. I think some of the ways that Bibi is fighting that war, I don't agree with. But I support Israel. You know what I'm saying? I support Bibi. Whenever that he was fighting this fight, I was saying whatever Bibi say do. Well, what we gonna do? What you advise is whatever Bibi say do. That's his fight. He over there. He know what's going on. But I think it's about time to end that war, though. That's what I think. Y'all don't think so? Y'all don't think it's time to end the war, bro? They've been fighting too, bro. It's like they'll go fight wars, and it's like you getting profit out of killing people or something. I don't get what's going on. The objective that he's trying to accomplish, I believe he accomplished the objective better than he expected. But, you know what I'm saying? They want to keep fighting. I don't think it's necessary to keep fighting. But you ask me what I think of Israel. Yes, I support Israel 10,000%. Oh, Watson said where I'm from. It don't matter where you from, bro. That don't matter. It's where you at. And it's where you going. That's what matters. Y'all, they always ask where you from. I ask where they from too to see how you got started. You know what I'm saying? I'm from that crooked ladder, from that dirty south, from that muddy waters. But that's not where I'm at right now. I'm in New York right now. I'm in the Empire State, boy. You want me to start singing that Jay-Z? That's where I'm at. It ain't about where you from. It's about where you at. It's about where I stay at. Bro, I was in Biloxi, where I'm from, for 3 months out of the last 3 years. 3 months out the last 3 years. A little over 2 years, I was in Houston. I was in Austin, Dallas, and the rest of them cities for about 3 months. I went to Biloxi for 3 months. I went to North Carolina while I was in Biloxi. I wasn't even there the whole 3 months. I left for a week then. And then the rest of the time I've been all over America. You talking about the last 3 years. It ain't even about where you from. It's about where you at. It's about where you going. It's about where you headed. Not a physical location. We can all settle for things in life if we want to. You had those goals, those dreams, those aspirations that you had when you was a teenager. If you ask Abby Phillip, yeah, I'm call your name, Abby, Miss Abby. If you ask Abby Phillip if she accomplished her goals and dreams, more than so. I'm saying you a CNN anchor making millions of dollars every year, but her story, or like my homegirl story, I got a homegirl who got a job a few months ago making $15,000, $20,000 per month. I'll get $15,000 to $20,000 per case, and hopefully I'll get 2-3 settlements a year. She getting that every single month. Not trying to live off no, you see what I'm saying? So I got a homegirl do that too. It's just the situation, how they play out, right? Am I right or wrong? Oliver, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a paralegal. The link is in the bio. So if you guys want the full story and you don't want to go to watch all the YouTube videos, you could do it how like the government or any important like organization do it. They got apps where you could use AI and the AI analyze the videos for you. So you don't have to watch a whole 3-hour live stream. The AI tell you what I said in the live stream in the summary. So if you can't analyze the videos and stuff like that, or you're not that deep into technology, you know what I'm saying, to know what these channels about, what you can do is you could go to YouTube. To Instagram. The link is in the bio, and I'll be telling y'all and giving my stories on a daily basis on Instagram. So that's where I'm at, y'all. But 2.5 hours, man, I appreciate it. We added 10 channel members. Hey, New, my baby, she was in here, man, the whole time, and she added 10 channel members. Thank you, sweetheart. She added 5 like last week, so that's 15 channel members in the last 30 days, while we were on this tour. 15 added channel members since I've been in New York. About a week. 15 channel members added. That's awesomeness. And it's all because of AU. Thank you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Angelo, all my channel members, all my people's support. I thank y'all. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. Okay, MVT is going to take us out of here. Okay? So MVT says Jesus Christ died on the cross, taking 100% punishment for your sins. 100% punishment for your sins. It's called grace. It's called a pardon. The difference between the pardon that Jesus gave and the pardon that President Trump gives is that the wrongs aren't being paid for. Let me explain that. So the January 6th rioters, if you guys don't know, President Trump gave them a pardon. And the reason why people were so upset is because it's like they got away with. But what I'm saying, the pardon that Jesus gave us, when Jesus stepped up to God, my sins didn't get away with. God didn't just let it walk. Your sins, that wrong that you commit in your life is forever before you, is forever on you. The way that I got away with it is through Jesus. So he's a sacrifice, he's a payment, an atonement for my sins. Does that make sense? MVT, that's a good point because he says 100%. That made me think I didn't get away with no. When President Trump pardoned you, the January 6th rioters, they got away with what they did. But what I'm saying, when God pardons me, is I didn't get away with it. Jesus paid the price for it. 100%. It's called grace. That's one thing that I like about Charlie is because me as a Christian, I hear Charlie preaching this. You say we got to get on one page. Well, I personally don't try to make people convert to Christianity or Islam. I'm saying if a Christian and a Muslim could live together on one page if they live by integrity. Integrity is something that that's how we get to one page. Integrity, unity, humanity. Those are common links between all people. We're all human species. We all should be taught or be held accountable to have integrity. And we all should have a mentality of unity or how to unify. That's how you put everybody on one page. In the whole world. It ain't trying to create speak the truth. It's not trying to create a new world order. I'm saying you don't want to stop corruption. I'm saying you don't want to try to stop crime. You don't want to try to do things right. You want bloodshed. You want people to die. You know what I'm saying? You still protecting freedom of speech. We still protecting freedom of people to worship, freedom of people to do whatever they want to do. But I'm saying at the same time, you want to usher in an age of peace and prosperity for the world. As Christians, we freely worshiping God and we telling other people about Jesus freely. What's wrong with that? But you still worship. You could freely tell people about Jesus and worship God, and you don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying, hate on a Muslim or hate on somebody who's LGBTQ. It's just the way you present the message. In my opinion, that's what it's about. It's the way you present that message. It's the way you present it. And I'm going to just try to present that message in a way of unity with integrity and truth. That's what I'm saying, y'all. So, guys, let's see. See, Kobim, that's what I'm saying. With people saying that, that's the problem. That's division. That's division. There's certain words that you say that's going to cause controversy. It's like taking a bucket of gasoline and just throwing it in the middle of a place where people got lighters and matches. You just asking for a fire to get started. You're throwing gasoline into match land, lighter land. Those are divisive words. I hear some prominent talk about white supremacy. How many times y'all hear me say the word white supremacist? In my opinion, that's what they might be. But to me, that's like a word that I don't use. I kind of think that's like, I ain't going to call him that unless he showed me that personally. And I have to say that it's the words that I use, try not to be inflammatory. That's how you bring you bring it down. You know what I'm saying? I've told this 1,000 times and I'm going to end by saying this. So you get your first black president. Shout out Barack Obama, Big President O. You get your first black president, and while he's president in South Carolina, you had a white terrorist, a white lunatic, or I would say a lunatic or a terrorist. They don't have to be white. But what I'm saying is I need to say white because President Trump is the first black president, and this Caucasian went into an all-black church and killed 9 people, or don't get me wrong, it might have been, but I think it was 9 people while they were worshiping. And you have a black president, he going to that funeral. So, in his mind personally, what he would say with him and Michelle by themselves about that boy. He a human being. Michelle a human. I'm a human. What I would say personally, that's one thing. But as a leader, when you go address the nation, at this moment in this time, amazing grace. That's how you address the nation. That's leadership. What he want to say personally, that's something totally different. He ain't blaming it on the conservative far-right movement. It's just some crazy dude. He's a criminal. Crime doesn't know race. If you a rich black dude and you got a house in Beverly Hills and those boys out there doing they jacking stuff, you think when them gangbangers come to your house because you black and they black, you think they gonna let your house make it and you got some good easy targets? You think they saying that we don't rob black people? You might hear some say, but if they good criminals, they robbing whoever they got the easiest target. They gonna rob the easiest target. They don't care if you black. We don't rob no Republicans. We don't rob Republicans. We only rob Democrats. Criminals don't think like that. A criminal is a criminal. If a man would pick up a weapon, an assault weapon, and commit a atrocious murder like that, it don't matter what party he's in, man. That's irrelevant. He's a bad person. He's an illegal person. He's a criminal. He's an enemy of peace and prosperity. He's an enemy of unity. He's an enemy of getting the world on one page. He's an enemy of that. You feel that? They killed that what, dude? First gay president, it might be coming. Pete Buttigieg, who knows? First woman president, they gonna try to get first everything president. The Democrats are. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't do that up in here, B. Because you said that I'm going to just put you in a 24-hour timeout. Guys, I got to get up out of here tomorrow morning. It's We the People number 6. We the People number 6. There's a bunch of scenes in there going to be from Chasing Sunsets and Chasing Peace. I was in Erie, Pennsylvania. It's different here because they got mountains and stuff like that. But in Erie, Lake Erie is just a straight flat lake. They ain't got no trees, no nothing. It's just public. It's miles. I'm talking about there's a peninsula in Erie, Pennsylvania. It's a gorgeous city. There's 13 miles of straight flat access to Lake Erie. So your boy out there with that camera at 6 a.m. and he out there at 6 p.m. chasing them sunsets. It's so gorgeous. I decided to see the beauty in life. While I was doing that, you know what I'm saying, I was recording the information. Charlie Kirk had just got assassinated. So I did a lot of information and talk about how we need to bring things down and highlight Charlie's platform. I really did. I like how Charlie Kirk said that you could come and debate him. Because I would have loved to debate him on why you would say Martin Luther King was a bad person. A bad person? You see what I'm saying? How was he a bad person? He wasn't teaching hate. How many people did Martin Luther King hang or tell to hang? How many white people did Martin Luther King tie to the back of his car and drug them just because they talked to a black woman? How many white people Martin Luther King burned crosses in their yard? How many white people? That's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't listen. That's why you would never hear me say that a president so-and-so is a racist. I don't do that. Those to me, that's inflammatory language. And that's why I wouldn't do that about Charlie Kirk. If I know, I probably Jasmine probably would have been upset with me or AOC because I would have had a hard time voting not to honor. Because that's what we do. If it's somebody who we disagree with, even though I can't honor those words he said about Martin Luther King, even though I cannot honor those words he said about Michelle Obama or any black woman. My mama a black woman. My sisters are, one of my sisters half black, half Latina. The others have, all the rest of my sisters in Houston, they all black people. I can't honor him saying that, but I can't honor his life or his legacy. Can I? Can I honor him having a platform and having a voice? That's the question as a black man. I seen Van Jones step up and do that yesterday, and I salute Van Jones because he's a powerful voice in the black community. He said that Charlie Kirk reached out to him and offered him a platform to come debate him, and Van Jones said he was going to go debate Charlie Kirk because that's what I would have did, and I would have told him not to say that about Dr. King. He could feel like you could feel about DEI. Just be respectful with what you're saying because Michelle Obama is a very intelligent woman and she earned her degree just like any white woman would have done. And I would have had that debate with him. And his wife could have kept her husband and the beautiful babies could have kept their daddy. That's the way I think you handle that. The guy was a pretty decent dude. He wasn't a bad dude. But it is what it is. Moving forward, guys, we need to work and live and learn to have our views and stay intent on our views, but don't attach hatred with our views. And some of these things that are our views, we probably need to keep them to ourselves. Miss Janita Mitchell, baby, I really appreciate you showing up, showing all that love and kindness. Miss A. New, I appreciate those 10 gifted channel members. All my channel members now, we're getting back to where we was. I'm trying to get y'all to get that retention. You know what I'm saying? Legal Wars Live, man, we hustling, we working. Tomorrow morning, we got a new vlog, 8 a.m. Eastern time. That's We the People 6. Charlie Kirk, shout out, rest in greatness, my boy. You hear that? And then on Wednesday, I think Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we got live streams. We got a lot of different conversations, little topics, man. We trying to keep it cooking, man. I'm trying to hit about 20 to 30,000 per live stream, man. We need to get that videos up, that support up, man. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for coming and supporting up and all of your support, man. And that being said, man, you know what I'm saying? I say it like I say all the time, man. I am a Christian. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe in Jesus. And I believe that Jesus is the way, he's the light, he's the salvation, he's the truth. And that's what I believe, man. And I just pray and I just hope that, you know, if we turn to Jesus, you know, to where in the situation to where we could say that, you know, this is a time where you go against your opposition and you say, hey, love one another, love your enemies, feed your enemies. That's what we need, man. Unity. Just keep preaching that, man. You know, I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like physically, all kind of stuff. But they taught me that, you know what I'm saying, that we need to, whatever you guys say, man, but we need to just tamp down on all the nonsense and the confusion and all the, you know what I'm saying? And unity, man. What's wrong with unity? What's wrong with fighting corruption? I love y'all, man. Every day I wake up, Jesus Christ, his name's Jehovah Jireh. So you understand who I'm with and what I represent. I believe Jesus Christ is Lord. Jesus is Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? Every day I wake up, I pray to Jesus. I'm so thankful for everything he's done for me, everything he continues to do for me. You know what I'm saying? I start my day with thanksgiving. Thank you, Lord, for what you do for me. I say, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I thank all y'all for coming. I thank y'all for participating. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, right now. Janita Mitchell, please, I'm gonna be checking for you now. Y'all go to that video tab, and I got 5 We the Peoples. I know you're not gonna watch all 5 of them, or you might, and I know you're not gonna watch all of them. They pretty long, or you might. But I ask that you like the videos, y'all subscribe. I'm taking my time to record this content for you guys, we the people. I love y'all. I'll see y'all Wednesday, same place, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time on YouTube. I'm out.